I think they can turn around because their run blocking's been really good despite the injuries on that offensive line. It's good. If they can improve their pass blocking and change some of the things they're doing from a schematic standpoint, I think this Tennessee team is one of the weaker 5-2 teams, right? But could get better, right? I can see them improving because of the coach. I love this game. It's an absolute lock of a home run. I swear to God, if you're out there and you're considering getting involved today, there's so many options. Call, listen to the free picks on the recorded message, or just go to freewinners.net. Hey, Siri, take me to freewinners.net. $49. Click, boom. I give you my best bet of the day that I made a huge bet on. Or just call in and say, Paulie, I want to sign up for the executive club. I really want all your best bets today, and I want best bets for the next 7 days or the next 30 days, and I promise I'll win for you. Free pick time.
Yes, quickly, go. Free pick time. You're up.
All right, I'll take Detroit. I know yesterday I said I'll take Detroit in this one.
And I'm going over.
Find a way to get right.
And I'm going over in the same game. Over Green Bay, Detroit is my free play on the show. Over Green Bay and Detroit.
5 free picks on the show, guys. 18-5. Keep a record of it. Track it. Call us today, though. Get the real best bets.
888-366-FREE, 888-366-FREE, or go to freewinners.net for the $49 guaranteed winner, but call 888-366-3733. That's going to do it for us, everybody. Have a great week 9 today. Enjoy the games. Cash some tickets. Have fun with that Tennessee-Kansas City game tonight, but we'll see you next weekend on the freewinners.net radio show. All right, point spread players, here we go. Week 9 in the NFL is here, and what a day it's going to be. Absolutely huge college football Saturday, and now we're going to roll it into a huge Week 9 in the NFL today on Sunday. Buffalo, New York gets us started at 1 o'clock. Carolina, Cincinnati also at 1 o'clock, and then tonight, roll it all onto Tennessee and Kansas City. Your Sunday night game is on the free recorded message. 3 easy winners for all callers right now. 888-366-3733, 888-366-3733. It's Week 9 in the NFL. It's time to build a bankroll, and we've got 3 games for you right now. Buffalo, New York, Carolina, Cincy, Tennessee, Kansas City. Don't make a move on any one of these games without first listening to the free recorded message. We've done the work for you. No reason to sweat these games. We've got 3 easy winners. You can get them right now. 888-366-3733. Buffalo, New York, Carolina, Cincy, Tennessee, and Kansas City. All free on a recorded message. One call gets it all right now. 888-366-3733. But that's not all. Over at freewinners.net, Paul Nolan, another $49 guaranteed winner.
Guys, I absolutely love the Colts and Pats. It's $49. Go to freewinners.net. Click the icon. Get that game with a money-back guarantee. I absolutely love it. And I promise you this, you're not going to need your money-back guarantee, but if it does lose, you'll get a refund instantly, or 7 days of my best bets next back to you every single day.
888-366-3733, 888-366-3733, Buffalo, New York, Carolina, Cincy, Tennessee, Kansas City, all on a recorded message. $49 guaranteed winner available at freewinners.net. Guys, it's a huge Week 9 in the NFL. Don't get caught losing today. No reason to do it. We've got winners everywhere. Call right now, 888-366-3733.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5, The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
What is going on? City of Philadelphia, in and around Philadelphia. Good morning? Question mark? It's a morning. It's not a good one. It's very glum, very dreary, very sad morning here in Philadelphia. The weather's nice, I guess. We got an extra hour of sleep. That's kind of cool. Other than that, yeah, pretty crappy morning here in and around the city of Philadelphia. My name is Tom Alvord. I'm usually next to Connor Thomas. He's getting a much-needed day off, so I got my buddy Ray Dunn in here replacing Connor for the day. We have a lot to talk about today. The Philadelphia Phillies lose Game 6 of the World Series, are eliminated from the postseason, and lose the World Series in 6 games, 4 games to 2, to the 106-win regular season win Houston Astros. The magical run comes to an end. The magical ride comes to an end. The run that was so much fun, the unexpected run that was so much fun, it's over. The magic has run out, and the Phillies go down. A ton to talk about today. We're going to talk about a decision that was made. We're going to talk about the big money guys potentially not stepping up for this team. We're going to talk about the staff. We're going to talk about the bullpen. We're going to talk about maybe next season and the offseason. There's a ton to get into today, so why don't we just start right now? Two things can be true, and we're also on YouTube today. If you guys would like to check us out on YouTube, hello, YouTube. 610-632-0975 is how you chime in. Two things can be true. I can appreciate and love the ride that the Philadelphia Phillies just took us on the last month. That was some of the most fun I've had as a baseball fan in my entire life. Definitely the most fun I've had in the last decade. That was awesome. We had some of the biggest moments, some of the biggest home runs, the Rhys Hoskin bat spike, Nick Castellanos becoming a Gold Glove defender all of a sudden, Bryce Harper, that opposite field, the swing of his life, opposite field home run to send them to the World Series. We had some great moments. We have Dancing on my own, right? Dancing on My Own. That is a song that's going to be played at weddings and played here in Philadelphia for the next 10, 20 years because of this run. It's a run that we're going to remember forever. We've had great memories at the ballpark, great memories at the bar, watching in the living room with your family. Memories that are going to stick with us for the rest of our lives, and I can be appreciative of that. I can. I'm very thankful that the Phillies put us on this run. That can be true. Another thing can be true. You had a golden opportunity where you were up 2-1 in the World Series heading into Game 4 with 2 home games remaining in Game 4 and Game 5. 2 home games in a place where you hadn't lost, where it seemed like you couldn't lose at Citizens Bank Park with that ballpark behind you, with those fans behind you. You had a 2-1 lead heading into Game 4, and you didn't get it done. I'm not going to call it a collapse. It's not like you were up 3-0. It's not like you're up 3-1. And the Astros were probably the better team, so I'm not going to call it a collapse. But that was a disappointment. That was a letdown. And it happens. So both of those things can be true. I can be excited and be thankful for the ride that the Phillies took us on, but I can also see that the Phillies blew a golden opportunity, and it is really, really hard to make the World Series and to win a World Series, and it's really hard to get back to the World Series. So both of those things can be true. So I want to talk about that. The wound is still fresh for me. I think as the day goes on, as the days go on, as the week goes on, for me, and I think for a lot of people out there, for Ray and for Mike Vito, who's producing, and for Haley Taylor, who is doing the YouTube today. Again, hello, YouTube. I think as the days go on, as the weeks go on, we're going to look back at this run, and it's going to be mainly positive. 95% positive. Wow, that was awesome. We still talk about 1993 to this day. I wasn't born in 1993, and I know how awesome that run was. That's going to be the type of run that this is the type of run that we're going to be talking about. It's very similar to that, where it was so much fun. But right now, the wound is still fresh, and I'm still angry, and I'm still upset. So let's break it down. Let's recap it a little bit. And I know none of us want to, but we have to. Phillies lose 4-1. They open up the game. There's big-time question marks about Zach Wheeler. Zach Wheeler versus Framber Valdez going into this game. Valdez was completely dominant earlier in the series when he faced off against the Phillies. You're hoping, all right, we see him again. Some of these big-time hitters, maybe they see the ball coming out of his hand a little bit better. Maybe they have an idea of what he's going to throw. Maybe we can hit him around a little bit. You have a day off coming into this, a much-needed day off, I thought, in my opinion. Maybe get the bats getting a little bit hotter because the bats went completely silent, completely cold. I mean, they got no hit, for Christ's sake. They go completely cold in Games 4 and in Games 5. Maybe that day off helps them. You have Zach Wheeler, who, even though there's major question marks, when Zach Wheeler's on, and man, was he on last night, he looks like the best pitcher in the world. But still major question marks. What Zach Wheeler were you going to get? I said I doubt we get no more than 5 innings out of him. And that's kind of ironic how that worked out there. But it's an absolute pitcher's duel to start that game off. Both of these guys flawless basically through 5 innings. And then Joe Davis said it last night. Who is going to blink first? And the Astros blinked first. You get a huge, huge solo home run from Kyle Schwarber, something that we've grown accustomed to here in Philadelphia, something that he has done this entire season. He's hit, over 50 home runs combined, regular season and postseason. Just steps up in the biggest moment, and that's a big reason why he was brought here. Not only because of the power, because of the leadership that he brought to this team, and because he had been here before, winning a World Series with the Chicago Cubs back in, 2016. That's the reason he was paid that big money. And, man, he earned – I know the batting average is low, but especially after this run in the postseason, he earned every penny of that contract. He does what he's been doing all season long, gets you on the board 1-0, Astros blink first. And you're feeling really good because Wheeler's got, 52 pitches or something like that through 4 innings, 5 innings, whatever it was. And then, yes, the bottom of the 6th comes along. And despite Zach Wheeler being tremendous, it starts off with a hit by pitch. Just the Astros doing Bush League stuff as they've done pretty much the last 5 years or so. Cheaters. Bush League, you could call it. You could call it smart baseball, whatever you want to say. Martin Maldonado, pretty much on the plate, on top of the plate in that situation, even though they showed a clip of him in the 3rd inning where his batting stance was, and it looked completely normal. They show it again in the 6th inning. He looked like he was half a foot closer to the bag because he knew that Wheeler was absolutely dealing and that inside fastball was working really well for Zach Wheeler. He's thinking, all right, if I lean in a little bit more, I know I have absolutely zero chance of hitting this dude. Maybe if I lean in, I have a chance to get hit by a pitch. He ends up getting hit by a pitch. Do you want to throw blame around? You can. I think that's just a smart baseball play by Maldonado. You could be angry at JT Realmuto for not realizing what's going on before it happens. You could be mad at Zach Wheeler. You could be mad at the pitching coach, Caleb Cotham, whoever you want to be mad at. Listen, it's a baseball play. It happens. Man on first, no outs in the 6th inning. You get Jose Altuve up. Ground ball to Alec Boehm. Alec Boehm, the butcher, who we thought a lot of his career here has been really, really, really solid over there at third base. Makes another really good play. Can't get the double play just because Altuve has that kind of speed, but you get the lead guy out. Man on first, 1 out. Okay, you're feeling all right. And then Jeremy Pena comes up, and oh, my God, I can't stand that dude. He is such a good baseball player. It's a sports hate because he is such a good baseball player, and it's so Astros to lose Carlos Correa, the face of that franchise, quote unquote, other than Jose Altuve, the face of that run. Again, this is their 4th World Series in 6 years. They lose a guy like Carlos Correa to free agency, and that's how good they are. That's how well run they are. Oh, here's a Jeremy Pena. We'll dust him off. Oh, forgot we had this here. Here's a shortstop for the next 10 years. Wins ALCS MVP, a Gold Glove as a rookie, and ends up winning World Series MVP as well. Jeremy Pena does what he's been doing all series and all postseason, basically. Just hits a weak dribbler up the middle, finds a way, makes contact, gets on base, puts together good at-bats, hits a weak dribbler up the middle. Are they playing double play depth? Should someone have been there? Should Sosa have gotten there? Maybe. It's a ball that gets by. It is what it is. Man on first, man on third because of Jose Altuve's legs. And then a decision has to be made. You have Zach Wheeler with 70 pitches, who was absolutely dealing. Like I said, Zach Wheeler looked the best that he looked pretty much the entire season. 70 pitches for Zach Wheeler, man on first, man on third, 1 out. Do you stick with Zach Wheeler? Do you stick with your ace? Or do you go to the bullpen? Something that Rob Thompson's been doing this entire postseason. Do you go to your high leverage guy? Do you play the matchup in Jose Alvarado versus a Yordan Alvarez? A matchup that Rob Thompson has wanted this entire postseason and pretty much besides yesterday, spoiler alert, has worked for a majority of this postseason. He goes to Jose Alvarado. And Jose Alvarado didn't have his sharpest stuff. Leaves the ball way too much in the zone. And Yordan Alvarez, despite the average, the statistics not looking good in the postseason, Yordan Alvarez did not miss that baseball, and he's had some great moments for the Houston Astros. Had the walk-off homer against the Mariners, and then hits the biggest home run of his life in Game 6 of the World Series. Doesn't miss. Bang. 3-1 Astros. They have all the momentum. The crowd's behind them. Zach Wheeler's out of the game. Jose Alvarado begins to unravel. And it was pretty much stick a fork in them at that point. Offense can get nothing going as the game goes along. Kyle Schwarber's bunting with 2 strikes. I have absolutely no idea what that's about. No idea what that's about. 9th inning comes along, and you're feeling, all right, they've done it before. Can they do it one more time? Is there a little bit of magic left? Rhys Hoskins can't get on. JT Realmuto, it's a single up the middle. All right, we're feeling pretty good. And then what was it, 2 pitches between Bryce Harper and Nick Castellanos? Talk about working a count there, seeing some pitches. Harper flies out. Castellanos flies out. Ball game over. Season over. Magical run over. Houston Astros are the 2022 World Series champions, and your Philadelphia Phillies are not. And it sucks, man. It really sucks. Like I said, a tremendous run that they just took us on. But the wound is still fresh for me, and it sucks. This is going to be a venting session today. I want to hear from you out there. Are you mad about last night still? Is the wound still fresh for you as well? Because it is for me. Are you already looking on to next offseason and next season? Do you want to talk about that? We can talk about that. But do you want to yell at Rob Thompson and tell him he should be fired? We can do that. I just want to hear what you have to say out there. Are you over it already? Are you like, listen, it stung. It hurt at first. But listen, that was a magical, magical run, and I appreciate it. Are you already over this? I want to hear from you guys out there. 610-632-0975. Today is a venting session brought to you by Tom Alvord, that's myself, and Ray Dunn. I'm going to get Ray's thoughts in just a second here. When it comes to the decision we're going to talk about a ton. I'm always a big proponent of leave your ace in. Your ace got you there. Leave him in. I always give him an extra batter, give him one more just to see what happens. Wheeler was absolutely dealing. And I know there were question marks about him coming into the game. What is he going to look like? He didn't have his stuff. Man, he was pumping 99 last night after throwing a 95-mile-per-hour fastball in Game 2. Looked like a completely different pitcher. Looked like a healthy pitcher, and I think that extra day of rest really helped him. I would have went with Zach Wheeler, kept Zach Wheeler in that in that game if I was Rob Thompson. And I saw a ton of outrage. How can you take him out? What are you doing? Are you an idiot? How could you possibly do that? And I'm saying to myself, and I tweeted last night, and I'm thinking to myself, this is a move that Rob Thompson has done this entire postseason. He trusts his high leverage guys. He trusts his matchups. He trusts Jose Alvarado. He trusts Seranthony Dominguez. He trusts Zach Eflin. He trusts Zach Wheeler too. That's obvious. He went back to him in this situation, and he was absolutely dealing, and he said it after the game, and we're going to get that audio in just a second here. He said that it was a tough decision for him as well. In the moment, he wasn't sure what he wanted to do, and ultimately he trusted his gut, and his gut was wrong this time. But his gut was right 95% of this postseason. It just ended up not working out for you this time. So to me, I would have kept Wheeler in, but I understand why Jose Alvarado was brought into the game. That's a matchup they've been looking at the entire and have wanted the entire series, the World Series with the Astros. Jose Alvarado against the really good lefties in Kyle Tucker and Yordan Alvarez. It just didn't work out this time. Again, 610-632-0975. The offense was terrible. Offense did not step up. This offense that's worth $500 million, some of these big signings, they didn't step up for you. Even Harper, and I'm not here to bash on Harper at all. Listen, we wouldn't be anywhere close to here without Bryce Harper. That kid is a superstar. Kid, as he's older than me. That guy is a superstar, Bryce Harper. His bat went cold as well, and it went cold at the worst time. So we have a ton to talk about. Again, this is a venting session here on 97.5 The Fanatic. You're not wrong. Whatever you want to say, I'll listen to it. If you just want to yell and scream, that's fine. Get it out of your system. This is the place to do it. Again, 610-632-0975. Mr. Raymond Dunn, how are you this morning?
I've been better.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree with you on that
I've had
one.
better mornings.
Yes, it's not great.
Yeah.
Not great at all.
Not great.
I'll start with, actually, before we get to you, I'm very sorry. Can you play the audio, please? Because I want the people out there to hear what Zach Wheeler had to say. We're going to get with Zach Wheeler first, please, Mike Vito. And what Rob Thompson had to say on the decision that was made about pulling Zach Wheeler in the sixth inning.
Win or go home right there, and that's a tough pill to swallow, but it's ultimately, Tom's call, and that's the call he made.
Did you think he was going to come out there?
No, honestly, it caught me off guard a little bit.
So that's Zach Wheeler. It's Tom's call, Thompson. That's the decision, and that's the decision he made. He was surprised, he said. Little caught off guard that he was taken out there. That's what Zach Wheeler had to say. Now we get to Rob Thompson, who was asked just a couple moments later.
Rob, could you take us through the thought process and the decision to take Wheeler out and go with Alvarado in that situation?
Yeah, I thought Wheels still had really good stuff. It wasn't about that. It was just I thought the matchup was better with Alvarado on Alvarez at that time.
Zach just said in the clubhouse that he was surprised that you decided to do that. Any reaction?
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he was. I mean, he still had his good stuff. I just thought that was a key moment in the game, and that was a momentum swing that I thought Alvarado had a chance to strike him out.
And there you go. There you have it. You still ride with Philly, Rob? Because I do. Like I said, man, it's 95% of the postseason, and 95% of this entire season. He's made the right decision. He went with his gut, and it didn't work out this time. Ranger Suarez, I remember complaining about Ranger Suarez being taken out of a game too early. They ended up winning that game. They took out Zach Wheeler in a postseason game too early. They ended up winning that game too. He trusts his high leverage guys. He did it again, and it didn't work out. Ray Dunn, thoughts on the decision?
And that's why I can't be upset with the call, because this is the call he's been making. It's been working for him. And when you look at the matchup itself, it's the third time through the order with the best hitter in the lineup. And when that happens, that's what Rob Thompson's been doing. He's been taking out his starters. He's been letting his high leverage guys go. And I think you're seeing kind of a lack of maybe the depth they had in the bullpen, where the same high leverage guys have to come in to face the same batters each and every time. And maybe that plays into what Alvarez is looking for. Alvarado also leaving that pitch center cut. Thompson didn't bring him in and think, hey, we're going to throw a fastball right down.
Yeah, that wasn't part of the game plan.
That wasn't part of the game plan.
Yeah.
So you're going with the outcome bias of, okay, well, he gave up a home run, so it doesn't work. If you thought in that moment, like I'm sure you did, where, hey, I would have rode with Wheeler. All right, I understand you. I understand why you'd want to ride with Wheeler. I understand wanting to ride with your ace, but this is what's gotten them here. This is what they've done. So I didn't think it was the wrong call. I thought it was the right call to go to the bullpen. And, hey, that's the way he's managed this entire postseason. We'd be ripping him if all postseason he had gone with the quick hook and been more about getting a pitcher out 10 pitches too early rather than 10 pitches too late. If Wheeler slowly lost his velocity and had stuck there and left that same pitch to Alvarez, and it had gone over, and he kept riding with Wheeler and eventually had given up another run.
Yeah, and I think that's what hurts the most is because Wheeler was so good yesterday. Rob Thompson said it himself yesterday that the velocity was down a tick, but it was nothing concerning. I think that's just natural wear and tear of a baseball game. He was pumping 99, and what was he at, 97 in that inning maybe? I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah,
but
I think that was it.
Yeah, it wasn't anything concerning. That's what's tough. If the velocity's down, if he doesn't look himself, and it was a hit by pitch that is a Bush League move, in my opinion. He was crowding the plate way too much, Maldonado was, but he made a smart baseball play. You can call it whatever you want, Bush League, smart baseball play. Maybe it's a little bit of both to me. I don't really know. It's a weak hit by pitch and then a weak ground ball right up the middle by one of their best hitters all season. And other than that, he was damn near perfect through 5 innings. That's what hurts the most, is that there was no drop in velocity, real heavy drop in velocity. He was still hitting his spots. That's what hurts, is that when your ace is dealing the way he was dealing, when he's looking as good as he looked last night, I understand why people are outraged about him being out of that baseball game. And I was a little bit too at first. I was.
Yeah, and you understand the outrage. I absolutely understand why people would be upset. It's just that in that situation for me, they've consistently gone with the high leverage guy to play the matchups, to play, hey, this is the best hitter the third time through the lineup. It's a left-handed bat, right-handed pitcher, and I get Wheeler still got his great stuff, but this is the way that Thompson's managed. Yes. And that's, if you ride with Topper, guess what? You're riding with that decision. And if you trust in Topper, you're trusting in that decision. And that's a tough pill to swallow when it doesn't work for you, but it's also part of the reason that they played into November.
Absolutely. Hashtag in Rob we trust, right? I've been tweeting it the entire postseason, and basically the entire postseason, it's worked out. That dude has had the Midas touch. I've said it multiple times on these radio waves. Rob Thompson has had the Midas touch 99% of this season. He just lost it. He lost the Midas touch. He lost a little bit of the magic there. I think the Phillies lost a little bit of their magic. Some of the cheap plays, man, like Edmundo Sosa's ball that he hit, and what was that, the second inning? In that stupid ballpark that is designed like that, if that's hit 15 feet to the left or if it's hit another foot in the air, that's a bases clearing double, and I think there were 2 men on at that time, first and second. That's 2-0 right there in the second inning. But no, some of the dribblers, Castellanos on that third called strike after a great at-bat. Castellanos put together some really, really good at-bats the last couple games. It just didn't work out for him. He continues to go 0 for. Getting that third strike call, that was a ball after a tremendous at-bat by him. So the 2 foul balls down the line that looked fair, that missed by just an inch, Like, it felt like the magic ran out a little bit. Trey Mancini, oh, look what I found in Game 5. Doesn't play the field for 3 weeks, comes in, makes that play. Kyle Schwarber rips the ball 100 miles per hour off the bat. Chas McCormick, we're going to that's the nightmare.
I will never unsee that.
That's the Kawhi Leonard quadruple bounce.
Yes.
That's that kind of play.
For me, that was the moment where it was cooked.
Yeah, I thought that's where the magic ran out as well.
That was
you talk yourself into it, right? Because they fought back the entire season, but it just felt like the magic ran out, and it seemed like Rob Thompson's magic ran out as well last night. So we have a ton to talk about. Again, this is a venting session here on 97.5 The Fanatic, 610-632-0975. We're going to get to the phones after this break. Call us, 610-632-0975. If you want to tweet at us, if you can't call in, it's a Sunday morning. You guys are busy. I get that. You can tweet at The Fanatic, at 975 The Fanatic. You can tweet at myself, at TAlvord975. That's Alvord, ALVORD. Ray, you want to drop your Twitter if they want to tweet you as well?
At Ray975.
Look at that.
Made the change. 975 in the app now.
Clever. Very clever. Venting session here on 97.5 The Fanatic. We got you until noon. We are going to get to the phones right after this. We're going to talk to Paul Nolan a little bit later on, so you guys can win some money. It's been a pretty crappy weekend. Been a pretty crappy day in general yesterday. We're going to
could use a chunk of change.
Could use a little bit of money. Yeah, so Paul Nolan's going to join a little bit later to help you guys win some money, but the rest of it is just you guys. I want you to vent. I want to hear from you. Let's talk about what we just witnessed. Let's talk about the game. Let's talk about this magical run. Let's talk about everything. Again, I'm Tom Alvord. He's Ray Dunn, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey guys, it's Andrew. Now's the perfect time to download FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge. It's America's #1 sportsbook. New customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's free bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Just sign up with promo code Fanatic. And now is the absolute perfect time to download the FanDuel Sportsbook app because you have so much going on. You got the big series right now with the Fightins. You have the Eagles every single week now that they're done with their bye. And of course, we got our squad on the hardwood. I love FanDuel. You can bet on all those sports, all on this one app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Just sign up with promo code Fanatic for your no-sweat first bet. That's promo code Fanatic. Make every moment more this season with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. Refund issued is non-withdrawable free bets that expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Cuz. It's a great time to be a sports fan in Philadelphia. Also a great time to get healthy, especially when it only takes 40 days to lose 20 to 40 plus pounds with NJ Diet. NJ Diet's contractually guaranteed money-back program starts with personalized supplements based on your hair, saliva, and blood work. Then NJ Diet uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet plan and workout regimen to help you keep the weight off. And don't worry, NJ Diet's with you every step of the way. You're fully monitored by their certified staff to make sure you're burning fat and not just losing water. You'll have access to the doctor's personal email and phone number. NJ Diet is committed to you keeping the weight off. It's all natural. No shots, no hormones, no prepackaged foods. Ew, and no surgery. Offices close by, King of Prussia, Cherry Hill, Newark, Delaware. Available from home with online video consultations. Visit NJDiet.com or call 855-5NJ-DIET. That's 855-5NJ-DIET. Lose the weight for good.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in because they are making a profit from you. That's the law. Yet many times a normal day ends with injuries because that business breached that duty because they knew or should have known of the dangerous condition that caused your injury. It happens every day in many ways. Slip and falls where cleaning and maintenance were ignored. Falling boxes and items stacked too high. And so many other unexpected occurrences and dangers only known to that business owner. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, let our team investigate and report back to you. The duty to protect customers from harm is the law, and our duty is to protect you after that harm. Visit forthepeople.com for more information, or on your cell phone, dial #law. That's all. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Forthepeople.com.
Fall is finally here, summer's in the rear view, and winter's on the way. Pretty soon, temperatures will start to drop, while your utility bills will start to rise. Fortunately, saving season is finally here too, with special financing offers and rebates on a new high-efficiency heating and cooling system from Trane, including a whole-house air filtration system to keep the air you breathe clean and safe. Visit Trane.com to find an independent Delaware Valley Trane Comfort specialist near you. It's hard to stop a Trane. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for details.
At my age, I never dreamed I'd be dealing with opioid addiction.
I was pregnant and I couldn't stop.
Getting sidelined by an injury was bad, but the cravings were way worse.
Then I heard about 844-REACH-NJ.
They connected me to treatment and I had a healthy baby.
844-REACH-NJ was the call that made the difference.
Thank goodness I made the call.
So glad I made the call for both of us.
REACH-NJ. If you or someone you love is struggling with addiction, call 844-REACH-NJ from the New Jersey Department of Human Services.
Hey, to become the next generation of innovators, entrepreneurs, and creators, we're gonna need some things.
Like a high-speed internet connection that can turn my ideas into reality.
Like the skills to become the world's most powerful coder.
Like the tools to start my sustainable shoe business.
You just heard some of the millions of students Comcast is supporting through Project Up, our comprehensive initiative and $1 billion commitment to open doors for the next generation so they can build a future of unlimited possibilities. Learn more at comcast.com/projectup.
You can't always see bad weather coming, so it's essential that you're able to see through it when you drive. Michelin wiper blades with advanced technology hug your windshield like a Michelin tire hugs the road, channeling away water, snow, and ice so you can see clearly, drive confidently, and breathe easy. Michelin wiper performance, clearer than ever. Upgrade to Michelin premium wipers today at Walmart, Amazon, National Tire and Battery, and other fine retailers.
At Target, you can shop with confidence knowing that if you spot a better Target price, we'll match it with our holiday price match guarantee. Pick up the hottest gifts of the season, holiday hosting essentials, and so much more right now. If you spot a better Target price, we'll match it on items purchased between October 6th and December 24th. Get the gifts you want at prices you love all season long with Target's holiday price match guarantee. Get price match policy details on Target.com. Some exclusions apply.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Hey, Sixer fans, it's Matt Cord for the Bet Parks app, the official winning partner of your Philadelphia 76ers. The Bet Parks app is fun to use. Build around on what you want right from your phone. It's easy to sign up, great customer service, and faster to win than ever before. Download the Bet Parks app today. The Bet Parks app, the official winning partner of your Philadelphia 76ers.
See website for terms and conditions. Must be 21 and in Pennsylvania or New Jersey. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
SEPTA and the Bet Parks Casino and Sportsbook app have something special for fans all season long. Free rides home from every Birds home game. Fans ride home free from every home game on SEPTA's Broad Street line from NRG Station, courtesy of the Bet Parks Casino and Sportsbook app. Free rides begin at halftime of every home game. Join the fun on the Bet Parks Casino and Sportsbook app by downloading now at betparks.com. Free rides and all about the fans from SEPTA and Bet Parks.
Must be 21 and in Pennsylvania or New Jersey. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you or someone you love has been diagnosed with breast cancer, breastcancer.org is here to help. Find free expert guidance online. Learn about breast cancer risk, diagnosis, treatments, side effects, and managing life during cancer. Join breastcancer.org's online community to connect with others who know just what you're going through. Our mission is to empower you to make the best decisions for your life. No one should face breast cancer alone. Find support at breastcancer.org.
Listen to 97.5 The Fanatic everywhere. On Alexa at 975thefanatic.com, the Fanatic app, and now on Odyssey. Adam Schefter plays on one station in Philly, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Morning. Not good morning, just morning. Morning here on 97.5 The Fanatic. My name is Tom Alvord. That is Ray Dunn, Mike Vito producing, Haley Taylor on YouTube. Hello to YouTube once again. And we are discussing the Flyers' big win last night. No, we're not doing that at all. Carter Hart looks great, by the way.
We're mourning this morning.
Yeah, we are mourning. There you go. We're mourning the end of the magical run that the Phillies took us on. The Phillies lose Game 6 of the World Series by a score of 4-1. Offense non-existent. Non-existent basically, the last 3 games of this series, 2 of them being at home. Rob Thompson makes an interesting decision, managerial decision, after having the Midas touch the entire postseason, this entire season. Lost a little bit of that magic, taking Zach Wheeler out with a man on first and third and just 1 out. And Jose Alvarado gives up a bomb to Yordan Alvarez, who, I don't know about you, that dude scared me every time he came to the plate. I know the average was only like 200 this postseason, but just that dude's presence and the power.
You're waiting for the shoe to drop.
Exactly. It was kind of like Altuve coming into the series, where I don't think he had a hit coming into this World Series. Altuve had a really, really good World Series for him. I think he batted over 350 or something like that.
There's those players that every time you think, we've had them under control for a while, that they're going to surprise you and do something incredible. And Alvarez, part of the reason that they made it this far. I mean, their biggest hurdle to get to the World Series came early with the Mariners. I mean, I know they didn't lose a game coming into the World Series, but still, the big hits that he put up for them early, and then he goes quiet. He was the lurking giant. Just waiting for it to happen.
And that's just how good the Astros are, where they can win a World Series when Yordan Alvarez didn't do anything for him for a majority of that series, where other than 2 home runs in Game 1, Kyle Tucker did nothing. That's their 3 and 4 hitter doing very little for him for a majority of this series. That's just how good of a team they are. And I don't want to give them too much credit, because how about that? Just MLB and the broadcast last night just shoving that down our throats. Oh, this is well-deserved. Like, so good to have them back on top. Like, the guys that cheated?
Oh, we need to stop with that.
The buzzers?
Ridiculous.
It's
the
ridiculous.
Same people who are going to keep steroid users out of the Hall of Fame are now pushing you, the cheaters, as, you just need to move on.
The same ones that bring up.
No, I'm not going to move on.
The same ones that bring up throwing snowballs at Santa Claus. They don't get over that at all, but they got over the Astros cheating themselves to a World Series pretty quickly. We're going to get to that a little bit later on, but we got Paul Nolan coming up at 9:40. That's going to win you guys some money. But like I said earlier, this is a venting session today. A venting session on 97.5 The Fanatic is how you say that. That's the station I work for that employs me.
There we go.
97.5 The Fanatic, 610-632-0975. Whatever is on your mind, good, bad, ugly, I want to hear what you have to say. How are we feeling after last night? We're going to start off with the phones. We're going to go to Conshohocken and talk to Glenn. Glenn, how we feeling, man?
I'm fine. I'm good. I was there in 93, so I was braced for this. So I'm much older now. So I got a question. Does anyone know if we've lost 2 championships in one day? Has any city ever done that before?
Nope. The first time ever that a city lost 2 championships on the same day. So Philadelphia,
Don't you
isn't
just
it?
love history?
Yeah, I'm loving it. Anyway, I find that funny. But I wanted to talk about, what are we going to do with Harper's elbow? Because is that a year recovery, or are they just going to let him just DH for the rest of his contract? How does that work?
So it's not. It would be a year recovery if he was a pitcher. I think that's a surgery that he's getting probably within the next couple days, the couple weeks. Probably going to miss the first month of the season, maybe a little bit more than that. I think they'll give us a timetable as his offseason comes along. It's a surgery that he's going to have very quickly, and it's going to dip into the season a little bit. Maybe he starts off a little slow, but he will be able to play for the Phillies next year in the outfield if everything goes well.
Okay. You don't think they'd put him at first or do something like that, or get rid of Hoskins?
Hoskins, that's a conversation that we're going to have all offseason, what they're going to do with him.
Yeah.
He's still a really good right fielder when he is right, Bryce Harper. He's much better defensively than Kyle Schwarber and Nick Castellanos. Obviously, Schwarber plays left. But I think they want him in right field, and I don't think they want to change too much having him at first base right now. Maybe down the road, but I don't think next season necessarily.
Yeah, I'm not much for harping on the past. I'm looking forward, no pun intended. So, I don't know. Fine, whatever.
It was a great run, right? It sucks.
Yeah.
It's the wound's still fresh, but it was a great run. It was awesome.
It was a great run. I didn't expect any of this. That Cardinals win was blown away. So this is all just house money.
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. Really appreciate it, man. So
I look forward to getting to where he is. with the house money. Like Glenn, I appreciate your mindset. I'm going to need more people to coach me with that.
Yeah.
I was kind of numb to it last night of like, I can't believe this ended. I thought I was going to wake up today with, hey, perspective. I didn't wake up today with the perspective of, oh, this run was fun. I'm still in, man, you were up 2-1 at home.
People got over it very quickly last night, and we should celebrate this run that they went on. To me, though, it's just still too early. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong if you want to come on and you want to share the same thoughts as Glenn, where you're over it to an extent already.
I'm happy for you if you're over it.
Man,
Good for you.
I'm not there yet. I'm still angry about last night. As Ray just said, you had a 2 games to 1 lead with 2 games left at home, and you blew it. You blew it. You had opportunities, and the Astros are a really, really good baseball team. They're a really deep baseball team. That's something we're going to talk about as the show goes on as well, that they're starting Christian Javier in Game 4, and you don't have a starter in Game 5 in the biggest game of the season with Noah Syndergaard there. So pitching depth, both bullpen and starting pitching. They got some key hits when the Phillies didn't. And listen, hats off to them. Buzzers off to them. They're a good baseball team over there. But I'm not there yet. Let's see if John is there yet. John in Huntington Valley. John, how you feeling, man?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I mean, they had a chance. And, for me, it's not so much about Game 6. It's about the high of Game 3 and the fact that they could not maintain that performance coming out of Game 3. And, of course, in Game 4, Marsh couldn't make contact.
Yeah, that was brutal. That at-bat was brutal. Brutal.
So they had a chance, and they could have done it. They were so close. And honestly, they would have beat a better team because they were so deep. Seriously. I mean, Dusty Baker did not manage well in this series. He was covered by the talent of the roster.
Sure.
No doubt. So if they come out and, they could have won Game 5. All right, Game 6, Wheeler should have stayed in there. There's no doubt. He was only at 70 pitches or so, still pitching 98, 99. Come on. You got to let the guy, get out of that jam. I felt like they did it with Nola at certain, when he pitched. They should have just let him continue to pitch, hold on to your bullpen, and then ride it out that way. But, the other thing was, the team sort of lost their game face a little bit in Game 6. Schwarber, he produced, he hit a home run, but the other guys, they really couldn't come through. So I really think they took this as far as they could take it, honestly.
Yeah, and they just ran into a better team. I think you're right. I do, John. I think you're right. So you're against the decision. You would have stuck with Wheeler there in that instance in that 6th inning, because I would have too. I understand why they did it, but I always stick with my ace. Always.
Agreed.
Yeah. John, thank you so much, man. It's going to get better, I think.
John brings up 2 good points there. The high of Game 3, which I know we're going to...
How do you not capitalize on that, man? How does that momentum not carry over? You get no hit the next day.
I'm going across sports here in a totally different scenario, but you mentioned Kawhi earlier to me and that the whole fallout from that Sixers series when they're up 2-1 at home where Embiid's doing the airplane after the dunk.
Oh, yeah.
Like, to me, that was a similar high, just a different situation. Obviously not as big a stage being that was the second round, this is the World Series. But the high of the moment of, they go up 2-1 at home and not being able to capitalize, the drop off there, it's only multiplied now because it's in the World Series, but I felt that one. The other thing, he mentioned about Dusty Baker being helped out, really bailed out by his talent. Absolutely. I think if the cards are flipped and the managers are flipped, I don't think this goes 6.
Yeah, you're probably right. And listen, I like Dusty Baker.
I do too. But I don't think he managed a particularly great series. I don't think this is the shimmering moment. It's going to be the big moment, the pinnacle for him, winning the World Series. But I think when you look back at his managerial career, move by move, chess piece by chess piece, I don't think it sticks out as a particularly impressive series by him.
Yeah, I agree. He just had a better roster. He had a deeper roster. I mean, it's easy when you have Framber Valdez as your number 2, and you got Verlander, who didn't even have a great showing. He pitched really well in Game 5, but wasn't the Verlander he was in the regular season at least. But he's going to win Cy Young this year probably. But you just look at Verlander, you have Valdez, you have Javier. Like, to have that and to have how deep of a bullpen that they had. Their bullpen was unhittable. I think they had an ERA under 1 in the postseason. They showed a graphic last night during the broadcast, and I'm pretty sure they had the 3rd lowest bullpen ERA in a postseason, and the ERA was under 1. That's really good. The Phillies bullpen was good too, but just not good enough in the big moment.
I mean, you look at this Phillies bullpen, and there's 2-3 guys that you would really, really want to roll out there in the biggest moment. There's like 6 on an Astros team where you're like, okay, big moment. Let me see which one. Who do I want to go to? And it's just
pick the name out of a hat, and you're comfortable with them if you're the Astros.
That was, to me, for this series. If the Astros got the 3 wins, I felt like this was going to be over.
Yeah.
As soon as the Astros got the 3 wins, I felt like it was going to be over because I thought that they just had the depth to beat the Phillies. A lot of people with the Phillies in 7. I just thought if it went 7, they weren't getting there. And once they got to 3 wins with 2 games to manage it depth-wise, I just felt like there was not enough gas, and I think that showed with what they have as a team.
I think they did end up running out of gas. It's frustrating. I think if they did end up getting to a Game 7, I would have felt confident because all the momentum's on the Phillies side. Asher's backs are against the wall, and anything can happen in a Game 7 of the World Series, especially with Rob Thompson, who I think is a better manager than Dusty Baker. It's, hard to say that now after last night's decision and the Astros win, but I think Rob Thompson is a better manager than Dusty Baker. At least he has been this season.
And, I mean, that was before the series where I was looking at it. Now, in the moment, when you would have had Ranger lined up and the way things were going, maybe I would have felt differently going into a Game 7, especially if we were coming in here today, high off a win last night. I might have came in here. I was like, you know what? Forget what I said. That guy was an idiot last week.
Yeah.
But reality is they got outgunned. Yeah. They got outgunned.
They did. We are going to keep going to all your calls all show long. Again, 610-632-0975. I see Tony, Danny, Mike, Anthony, Ed. I see all you guys. Hang tight for me if you don't mind. We're going to get to all of you. But first, I want to try and win you guys some money. And who better to win you guys some money than the great Paul Nolan of Free Winners? Text the word free to the number 888-366-3733. Paul, how are we feeling today, man?
Well, I'm feeling good. There's a lot of injuries that are kind of skewing the board that's already come. The board is rough. Like, the Eagles obviously played already on, and the Texans are like a team that people know what they are, so to speak. Then you have, Cleveland, Dallas, Denver, Giants, Pittsburgh, San Fran, all on the bye, a big bye week. So it's really condensed the board to it's relegated us to some kind of ugly matchups and some ugly games. It's a little bit frustrating right now because we're fighting tooth and nail for injury reports. Early in the week, there were a couple games that I loved, but then you find out certain things aren't going to happen and people aren't going to play because I got setbacks. Like Keenan Allen's setback hurt my over. Mathematically, I thought I had a really good value on the over in that game. Now it's an absolute no play, with Mike Williams out. So, it's just some weeks are just more difficult in the gut of the season when there are a lot of teams on the bye. So, but there's some values out there. There's some really good values out there. There's some even first half games that that my executive clients will get. But overall, this is where the injuries really make a difference, and you have to know who's stepping into those spots. So it's pretty interesting today. So it's good. This is a really kind of a day that if you're not professionally doing this, be very careful. Maybe even sit it out if you're not going to call us, in my opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. You guys are the professionals. You know what you're talking about. Again, Paul Nolan of Free Winners. Call Free Winners for your free picks at 888-366-3733. That's 888-366-FREE. Paul, despite all the injuries, and you're right, there's a ton. Keenan Allen, Jonathan Taylor's out. There's so many big-name guys that are out. Even Gus Edwards, who knows who's running back for the Ravens on Monday night.
Boy, he brings so much physicality to the offense that, he just looks different with him in there, doesn't he? I mean, he just brings in that, you guys want to fight? Well, I'm the best fighter on the field. And I love the way he runs the ball all the time. So, that's one of those things that definitely sets that team back as well because it changes that personality, changes the tenor in the locker room,
Yeah, absolutely. It's a perfect pair next to Lamar Jackson. So, despite all these injuries and some of these crappy games, quote-unquote, How are we feeling for today? Any games that you like in particular, despite all these injuries today, Paul?
Well, you know what? So here's one of the things that I want to share with the audience. I love that you guys are always so nice to me and all that, but I always feel more comfortable giving away picks to people because I trust my math, I trust my film work, I trust the team here. We're working around the clock. So the first thing what really stands out to me today is, besides my executive club, Green Bay and Detroit. Now, when you look at this Green Bay team last week, back 3 weeks ago on your show and even on my show, I had mentioned that it's really time to see Green Bay start to get into more of a power run game because the receivers simply can't get open. And, we're seeing Romeo Doubs is starting to gain a little trust with Rodgers, but it's still not there. It's going to have to get better. Alan Lazard back makes a huge difference for this team because Rodgers trusts him. The fact that he's, 6.6 yards per attempt at this point in the season, still got a 95 QBR, still has 13 TDs, only 4 INTs. Against this Detroit defense that I just cannot, for the life of me, I simply cannot for the life of me understand how we would joke around calling them the Detroit Lions just because there's no D in that team, and it's like
That's a good one.
to the point of I've never seen anything like it. The missed tackles on the second level. It's like they just don't want to get hurt. There's something wrong there with a Dan Campbell defense. Like we joke around and say, if this was Viking times, he'd have a clan. We'd all be on it. Like, let's go. Let's fight the English. And but what's happening? This team does not look like it's taken on his personality anymore. And Aaron Jones is averaging almost 6 yards per carry for the season. He destroyed the Bills last week at 7.2, and that Bill defense is no joke. Detroit still has Swift. He's banged up, but they got Jamal Williams, good running. Green Bay really can't stop the run, and that passing game is pretty good. I'm going to bet the over here, 49. God, if it was 48, I would be putting my lungs on it just because 48
that extra points got you.
Yeah. It's one of those numbers at 47.5 to 49 is such a good number in totals. It's got so much value, and it's not overly prohibitive to bet it and buy it down to 48. But I still like this thing over 52 at this point. So I think that's a good, fair winner for people out there who are afraid to call in or get involved. I have so many games today that I feel like are great value, but they're not sexy. I have some unders. I have one under today that I swear is an absolute loss.
Unders are never sexy, but if they win, that's all that matters.
Right. And honestly, what's going great, guys, and I hate to be shilly, but so many people are afraid to get involved. They just don't want to be on a mailing list. They don't want to get calls. Is the text line that's going great. We're winning up. We're giving all 3 free picks on that. On the text line if they just text in. And also if they want my $49, go to freewinners.net. I have one guaranteed game today. It's my best bet on the board, and I'll text you back, or my assistant will. And I know today is Colts and Patriots. I have a great value there. So, I'm pretty amped up. Again, is that a game that you really want to sit down with a bag of chips and a beer and, like Bills and Jets, Dolphins, Bears, it's on the other. Vikings, Commanders, it's so milquetoast. We talked about Packers and Lions, Chargers and Falcons, both teams banged up and both nothing really sexy going. You know what I mean? It's just a board of just unsexy. Raiders, Jaguars, is that light a fire under your butt? And, Seahawks, Cardinals, Geno's a great story. Rams and Bucks, that's the disappointment bowl, is it not?
Oh, my God.
At the beginning of the year, if someone would have told you that game would be bordering on, I can't look at it. It's so gross.
Both those teams under 500, and we're 8 weeks into the season, 9 weeks into the season. It's crazy.
Both teams on the line. Seasons are on the line here. It's just really, looks to me like at some point we might see a team, under 500 make the playoffs this year. So it's definitely one of those games. If you're not doing your homework, you really, you kind of look at the trouble this week. So, and I feel like we have some great values, and we've been rolling along. So, I'm happy to give out as many free picks as guys want. I'll give more free picks over the air if you want. I just feel like if guys pay the $49 and I don't cover the spread on the Colts and Patriots, I swear to you, get $49 right back, or you can have 7 days of me texting you your best bets. No talking. If you have questions, it's all through text. I don't have the time to speak to people unless, it's just too hard for me to talk to everyone. But I can absolutely promise you at this point right now that that $49 is the best value in sports betting. I feel so confident in what we got today.
Absolutely, man. Again, talking to Paul Nolan of Free Winners. Call or text Free Winners for your free picks at 888-366-3733. That's 888-366-FREE.
But they can't text that line. That's a phone. They can't text that. They can text 313-GET-INFO. They put in the message box free, and I'll send back 3 free picks that way. So it's 313-GET-INFO, free. That's the text line. And the other one is the phone number. They call in, they listen to a recorded message.
My bad. I got an old read here. That's my bad. Sorry about that, Paul.
No, it's all good, brother. It's all good. You got bigger fish to fry.
No. This is important, man. Again, Paul Nolan of Free Winners. Call 888-366-FREE. You can text 313-GET-INFO. Get that $49 best bet guarantee. Paul, any last kind of words for the people out there that are just trying to win some money today and want to trust you a little bit and help them do that?
You know what? I just think that there's a lot of simple rules. If you're going to do a teaser bet, always go through 3 and 7. If you even today, there are some home dogs today plus 3.5. Like you could find Atlanta, you could find value in Washington. There are teams that, like, if you want to tease them up through the 7, into 10.5 and 11 range, that's valuable. Even Chicago is valuable, but sometimes it's just ugly. So guys, be careful with the teasers. I see so often guys are taking a teaser on a team like the Rams today, and they're going through 0. You lose so much value when from -1 to +1. There's almost no value whatsoever there. So you're really doing yourself a disservice. You're not taking advantage of the mathematics that have been proven for 20, 30 years. So, I like guys to be careful that way. If a game looks too easy, just be careful. Sit back a little bit. Sometimes they look too easy because they're simply, just the odds makers know that there are matchups in it that an EPA is expected points added per play that really just, it's about public perception, and you're paying a tax on teams like the Bills. You're paying a tax on teams like, against teams like there's still the Carson Wentz factor and how ugly that Washington team has looked. So you still get, there's a tax against as well as for. So I just think guys should be just careful and make sure you're following injury reports. Please don't do this without doing that, because the players drop off in terms of expected points added above replacement player, it's enormous, and it changes the outcome of games every single week.
Absolutely. Again, Paul Nolan of Free Winners. You can call 888-366-FREE or text 313-GET-INFO. You get that $49 best bet guarantee as well. Paul, thank you so much, man. I can't wait to talk to you next week.
All right, my man. Have a great day. Thanks for your time, guys. Really appreciate you.
No problem, man. Thank you so much. Again, Paul Nolan of Free Winners. You can call 888-366-3733. That's 888-366-FREE. Or you can text the text line 313-GET-INFO. If you want to win some money to cheer you up a little bit, because I need cheering up.
I need something. Yeah. I need something.
Again, discussing the only story right now. I know we had a couple games last night. I know there was another championship game last night. If you want to touch on that as well, you can. Just our heart ripped out here. Phillies lose Game 6 of the World Series to the Astros by a score of 4-1. This is a venting session today, as I've mentioned a couple times. I want to hear from you guys. Just get whatever you have to say off your chest. If you want to yell, you want to scream, you want to fire people, you want to trade people, you want to look back and you're already over it. The wound's not as fresh for you, or the wound's healing up a little bit quicker for you than it is for me and Ray. Whatever is on your mind, I want to hear from you guys out there. 610-632-0975. We're going to start with Tony in Houston. I have 2 Houstons on this call out
Concerning.
Here. Yeah, I'm going to make sure, Mike Vito, that they are Phillies fans, if you don't mind. Tony from Houston. We got Danny. We got Mike. I got 2 Eds on the board. And then there's an open line for the first time pretty much all show. Again, 610-632-0975. I'm Tom Alvord. That's Ray Dunn, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
97.5 The Fanatic.
Now's the perfect time to download FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge. Hey, it's Jen Scordo. FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. New customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That is free bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Just got to sign up using the promo code SCORDO. It's a beautiful time right now in the sports betting world. You've got the NFL in full swing, college football too, the NHL, MLS as well. There are so many options on the FanDuel app. You have to check them all out, from money lines to spreads to player props and future bets too. It's all so easy to use in one app. They've got live betting too. You can get updated odds on games that have already started. And most importantly, you get paid super fast. It's all on an app that's safe, secure, and so easy to use. Sign up using my promo code SCORDO for your no-sweat first bet. That's promo code SCORDO and make every moment more this season with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. Refund issued is non-withdrawable free bets that expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Oak Hills Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with ED and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical breakthrough that has helped thousands of men. Our wave technology is backed by 50 clinical studies, including from Cambridge University. It's proven to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED and turn back the clock in the bedroom, call us now. And not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique that produces immediate results in the bedroom. I don't think I've ever heard of it failing. This offer is worth $600, but it's free to those that call in the next 2 minutes. 215-302-9999. That's 215-302-9999. Guys, put a stop to your ED and get your love life back. Call Oak Hills Medical Clinic now to qualify for this unprecedented offer. 215-302-9999.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS or go online at carsforkids.org to donate today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hi there, I'm your host, Dog, filling in for the human who's normally here and bringing you the smells and sounds of the holidays, courtesy of Beggin' Dog Treats.
We wish you a begging Christmas. We wish you a begging Christmas. Dog rest ye merry Doberman, let begging you acquire. Deck the halls with strips of begging. Arf, 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 arf.
Remember, for bacon-loving dog excitement this holiday, it's beggin'!
Auto Lenders is absolutely transparent about absolutely everything, like the fact that we know everybody hates commercials. So thanks for letting us interrupt your sports talk to talk about how incredibly good our cars are because we never get them from auctions. And for thinking about how awesome your sports radio will sound in the car you're about to get. We can talk more about it when you visit our new location in Fairless Hills. Visit Autolenders.com.
That's the 2-minute warning. In this case, I don't think 2 minutes can change anything. Not true. Every 2 minutes is another chance to play Cash Pop or Quick Draw from the New Jersey Lottery. But these guys have no shot of winning. In Cash Pop, you just have to match one number to win. I'm talking about the players. Players can win up to $1 million in Quick Draw.
The New Jersey Lottery gives you a chance to win every 2 minutes.
They can't win this game. Don't worry, there's another chance in 2 minutes.
Anything can happen in Jersey. Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Finding the right Medicare plan? Oof, no easy feat. Kind of like those dances my granddaughter loves making me do. But then I found Walgreens FindRx coverage. Lets you compare plans online, over the phone, or in person. Made Medicare shopping so easy. Plus, I found plans with low-cost copays. I can get down with that. When you need to talk Medicare, Walgreens is here. Start shopping today at walgreens.com/Medicare.
At my age, I never dreamed I'd be dealing with opioid addiction.
I was pregnant and I couldn't stop.
Getting sidelined by an injury was bad, but the cravings were way worse.
Then I heard about 844-REACH-NJ.
They connected me to treatment and I had a healthy baby.
844-REACH-NJ was the call that made the difference.
Thank goodness I made the call.
So glad I made the call for both of us.
REACH-NJ.
If you or someone you love is struggling with addiction, call 844-REACH-NJ from the New Jersey Department of Human Services.
Hey, this is Brian, and I'm the owner of Valley Grove Construction. We're expanding our team and hiring skilled and creative carpenters. As a company that truly values its talented carpenters, we prove it with top dollar pay starting at $30 an hour, an aggressive 401k plan, a generous vacation package, paid holidays, and even a $100 weekly travel allowance. You heard me right. That's over $5,000 a year to help with gas and vehicle expenses. If you're tired of not working with great people or just not doing the skilled work that you're capable of, then apply today at valleygroveconstruction.com. That's valleygroveconstruction.com and click the Join Our Team link.
Hey, to become the next generation of innovators, entrepreneurs, and creators, we're going to need some things.
Like a high-speed internet connection that can turn my ideas into reality.
Like the skills to become the world's most powerful coder.
Like the tools to start my sustainable shoe business.
You just heard some of the millions of students Comcast is supporting through Project Up, our comprehensive initiative and $1 billion commitment to open doors for the next generation so they can build a future of unlimited possibilities. Learn more at comcast.com/Project Up.
Every drive starts somewhere. For First Trust Bank, our drive started in Philadelphia and continues to this day. As Philly's hometown bank for more than 85 years, we know this city's people. We understand their passions, and we work our tails off to help them reach their goals every day. Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank. First Trust Bank, the official bank of the Philadelphia Eagles. Member FDIC.
Fall is the in-between season. In between summer and winter. In between flip-flops and puffy parkas. And in between soaring heat and frigid cold. Which makes it the perfect season to upgrade your comfort with special financing offers and rebates on a new high-efficiency heating and cooling system from Trane. Including a whole-house air filtration system to keep the air you breathe clean and safe. Visit Trane.com to find an independent Delaware Valley Trane comfort specialist near you. It's hard to stop a Trane. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for details.
Hello? Whether you're at home or on the go, listen to 97.5 The Fanatic on Odyssey on your smartphone, Roku, LG Smart TV, Waze, and more. That's Odyssey, AUDACY. Check it out now. WPEN, Burlington, Philadelphia. A Beasley Media Group station. Home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
97.5 The Fanatic. My name's Tom Alvord. Ray Dunn's sitting here hanging out with me as well. Hello, Ray.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Mike Vito producing, Haley Taylor on YouTube. Hello, YouTube, once again. Discussing the Phillies' magical run coming to an end. Phillies lose Game 6 of the World Series by a score of 4-1 to the Houston Astros, despite getting ahead early with a 1-0 lead thanks to Kyle Schwarber's. Just another home run from Schwarber. It's Schwarber Fest, not Hoagie Fest. Dude's been incredible. He's been worth every penny. I don't really care about the batting average. He's hit some major monster home runs for this team. Other than that, you got pretty much nothing from the offense. Phillies rack up 3 total hits. They had just 1 runner in scoring position and 4 men left on base. Rack up 1 run, as I mentioned, 2 runs in Game 5, 0 runs in Game 4. And that's other than the decision by Rob Thompson taking out Zach Wheeler and going to Jose Alvarado in the 6th inning with a man on first and third and 1 out. That's another whole conversation that we need to have because, listen, this team, you spent $500 million on this team to slug their way to wins. And they did it for a majority of this postseason. There's been some monster home runs. There's been some monster moments. But the bats went ice cold the last 3 games of this series, Games 4, Games 5, and Game 6. You were facing off against Framber Valdez. Framber Valdez is a really, really good pitcher. He's the pitcher. He had tied the record or broke the record for most straight quality starts, correct?
Yeah.
For those who don't know, quality start is 6 innings pitched, minimum of 6 innings pitched, and 3 or less runs given up. Consecutively, he broke the record for that this season, so he is a really, really good pitcher. But he's got some really, really good hitters on this team, and they just didn't step up. They went ice cold at the worst time. So that frustrates me more than the decision, honestly, because if that's a 3-0 game at that time, that game's just tied. Now, listen, it's going to be a bad decision nonetheless. Hindsight's always 20/20. That's something we're going to be talking about a ton. But if the offense could give you absolutely anything, we might be having a different conversation here. And they got us here, and I don't want to bash on them too much, but ice cold the bats went in the 3 biggest games of the year. It's something that can't happen when you dish out this kind of money when you're John Middleton and Dave Dombrowski. Ray, you got some stats on how bad the Phillies offense was these last couple games. Is that correct?
A lot of fun. Not a math guy, but I was able to. I had 2 hours here before we came on, so I really focused, tried to add things together.
Good job by you.
2 for 47. The second spot in the lineup to the 5th spot in the lineup. 2 for 47 over the last 3 games of the World Series. 4 walks, hit by 2 pitches. You did have a double in there, and 21 strikeouts. The investment in that 2 through 5 is over $500 million. That's not including Schwarber at the top. Schwarber had 2 home runs. You know, got to give him props where props is. When they only scored 3 runs in 3 games, you got to give the guy credit.
Sure, absolutely.
Got those. But yeah, 2 for 47 with 21 strikeouts in the last 3 games of the season. To me, it kind of ends there because anything that would have happened to not even to the extent of the Alvarez home run, really sinks you when you don't have your big guys producing. And like, again, you said it. They carried you here. You can be upset with Bryce today for not producing, but you have to realize that Bryce got you here. You can be upset with JT for not producing, but you have to realize JT is part of the reason you got here. Reese, the big moments throughout the playoffs, we get it. But it's not our job to sugarcoat what you just saw over the last 3 games.
Still stings.
2 for 47.
That's not good.
No, that's not good. And that's the end.
To say the least.
Yeah. That's the end of your season. That really, when it comes down to it, and it is kind of poetic in a way that it ended. Like, you had
and that's kind of what this team's been all year, right? They've been boom or bust. It kind of shows the flaws in this lineup where you don't really have a true leadoff hitter. I love the idea of Schwarber in the leadoff spot because he was really good last year for both the Nationals and the Red Sox in the leadoff spot. It was obvious as the season went along, he's probably more fit to be a little bit down in the lineup more. I'm not saying anything drastic. Put him in the 2 hole. I'd be fine with that. Put him at the 4 hole, 5 hole. That's fine. But as a leadoff hitter, and this is tough to say after he hits a leadoff home run, not lead off the game, but I'd lead off that inning, home run in yesterday's Game 6. But it's a flawed lineup to an extent. It's a flawed lineup that carried you all the way to a World Series, but you can see how cold they get, how it's just swing and miss stuff. At times it can be boom or bust where it's strikeout or home run or strikeout or extra base hit. And when they go cold, they go ice cold, and it came at just the worst possible time.
And that's why I didn't feel too great going into the end of this stretch, was really because Reese, you had started to see where he was swinging the bat and his hand was flying over the top. And when he starts doing that, he looks lost. Castellanos, you mentioned a couple of long at-bats, still swinging a lot of balls, still really being teased with an outside slider, with a curveball low and in where he doesn't quite know where it's going to finish. And that's nasty stuff. I'm not sitting here like, I could hit that. No, obviously not. But it's nasty stuff that he just wasn't reading and he wasn't able to get a handle on. And JT regressed back to the offensive player that you were concerned about at the beginning of the season. He had an incredible second half. Again,
he did, and he
I hate having to caveat all of this with, but again, over the last couple of games, you kind of saw the offensive player that looked like a catcher who has played as much as he has this season.
Well, that's the big thing, is how many innings are on that guy's legs behind the dish. I mean, he caught every single game in the postseason. Every single game. And after, 150 games in the regular season, most of those behind the plate?
Justifiably cooked by the end. Man. Justifiably. Like the same deal with your 2 pitchers that looked kind of out of it by the end.
Yeah. You ran out of gas.
They ran out of gas.
And John Stolness, who's a great follow on Twitter, mentioned something. The Phillies played 11 games in this playoff run. The Astros just played 7. So that's something, or leading up to this. Wait, no. I got to get that right, actually. I don't know what that was.
Astros played 7. Yeah, no, you got it. And then the Phillies played 5. Yeah, 11.
Yeah,
you got it.
Before the World Series.
We mathed it right. John mathed it right. You're good before the World Series. Yeah, 7 and 11.
Before the World Series coming into the World Series. Thank you, Ray, for helping my simple math. The Phillies played 11 games coming into the World Series. Astros played 7 games coming into the World Series. Probably something that leans the Astros' way. That's a win for the Astros there. And you just saw in games 1 and games 2, Aaron Nola didn't have it. Zach Wheeler didn't have it in Game 2. Aaron Nola didn't have it later on in Game 5. It was, right? Yeah. And then Zach Wheeler did have it at the end, but like maybe your bullpen starts to get run down a little bit, and it's a long season. We're into November. This is November 6th, and the season just ended.
We're tired.
Yeah.
You can only imagine how they feel.
I feel bad for all the kidneys and livers out there in and around the city of Philadelphia. They deserve a nice break. But yeah, so really frustrating loss, really frustrating way to end this magical run, 4-1 loss. This is a venting session, as I've mentioned multiple times. We're going to talk to Bob Wankel from Crossing Broad a little bit later on in the show at 10:40. I think Bob does a great job. I want to get his perspective on the series, on the postseason run, everything, on the offseason potentially. We're going to talk to him. But I want to talk to you guys out there. Venting session today on 97.5 The Fanatic. How we feeling? We're going to go to Houston. And talk to Tony. Tony, what's going on, man? Are you here to gloat?
No, sir. No, sir. I absolutely not. I got a few things I want to say.
Sure.
And I want to start off by saying 1980. 1980, Philadelphia Phillies were in the NLCS against the Astros.
Yep.
I was a young man. I was 20 years old. First time we'd ever been to the playoffs, but it was the first time the Phillies had been in a long time.
Yep.
And they brought Pete Rose on board, and they had a really good team. And we had a 5-2 lead going to the ninth inning with Nolan Ryan on the mound, and we lost. The next year, we lose to the Dodgers, and it's 86, and then it's 80, and then it's 97, and it's 98, and it's just frustration. But there's something about that series. People still talk about that series to this day of how compelling it was, how good of baseball it was.
Sure.
And, but I want to say something about this Phillies, this particular team. You guys were 22-29, 10.5 games out of first place.
Yep.
Out of the wild card. I think you were like 13th out of 15 teams or something in the National League.
We thought the season was over here in June.
I thought it was over. You made a change. Dombrowski has won everywhere he's been.
Yep.
He's a baseball. It's what he does. He builds championship ball clubs. So you made a change. You went to Rob. You know how many years that guy's actually managed? In 35 years, this is only his second managerial job.
Yeah.
You know that? He managed in 1995 at Oneonta for the Yankees, which is a low-A ball club. And this was his second managerial job.
Yeah, in his entire career. It's crazy.
He pushed every right button. He was low-key. He let the players play. The Phillies, people are going to remember this ball club for a long time. Normally, they don't remember who lost, but I will, because the Phillies have nothing to be ashamed of. You guys shouldn't be on a ledge. You shouldn't be on a bridge. You've got a good general manager. Now, whether he stays or not, I don't know. He was with the Nashville group trying to get an expansion club over there. I don't know how that's going to affect, but you guys are on the right track. And you gave. Listen, this series could have turned on a couple of turns. Now I'm going to say a couple more things, and I'm going to get off the line and let other people speak.
Sure.
The cheating scandal. The year we won the World Series, it was a blur to me. You guys probably remember, if you were alive in 1980, how it felt when the Phillies won it. It's like, I can't believe the Phillies won the World Series. We were the same way, okay? In 2019, we should have won that World Series. We came home up 3-2 and we lost the World Series. Both of my parents passed that year before the World Series, 4 months apart.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Never got to see it. And then the cheating scandal stuff comes up to light in January of 2020, and then COVID, and so I'm not really gloating over this World Series. This is not vindication. This doesn't make me feel any better. It just kind of, I don't know, puts it in perspective.
Yeah, different perspective, definitely.
And you guys have nothing to be ashamed about. You should be proud of this ball club, proud of the way that the city rallied. You guys have a beautiful ballpark. Passionate fans. There are people down here get upset with. I don't. I played ball. I've been booed before. If you got that thin of skin, you're probably in the wrong profession. People are passionate. They're passionate about their team. But I just want to say congratulations to the Phillies, their organization, their fans. You guys should be proud.
Tony, thank you, man, very much. Not gloating. I appreciate that.
You want to know how down bad I am right now?
What's that? Thank you, Tony.
Tony, we really appreciate that. Thank you for the pep talk there. But of all of that, he's got me sitting here thinking, oh, man, I forgot about Dombrowski was hanging out with the Nashville Crew. And I don't think expansion's coming, but I'm in the mindset of how bad things can get. And I was like, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me right now.
I think Dombrowski sees a golden opportunity.
Oh, yeah, he'll see this through.
And he has Bryce Harper, the best player in the world, on his baseball team. In his prime, I can't see him leaving anytime soon.
Oh, I think he'll see it through. But it's just one of those things where it's like, no.
Yeah, forgot about that.
I wasn't anxious about that.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. You're right. This was a really good season. This is a season that we should be proud of here in Philadelphia. And we're going to get there. And I'm going to get there. Like I said, I think we're going to look back on this a couple days, a couple weeks down the road, and it's going to be 99% positive when looking back on this Phillies team, just like it was in 1993. Everybody loves that team. I'm not there yet, unfortunately. The wound is still very fresh. I'm still hurting. But I think that's how a lot of people, pretty much everybody, is going to feel in Philadelphia a week from now. I think that's fair to say. Some might be there already. And if you're there already, let us know why. 610-632-0975. This is a venting session for everybody. Let us know why you're feeling the way you're feeling. Let's break down everything. 610-632-0975. Let's go to Wincoat and talk to Ed. Ed, what's going on, man? What are your thoughts on the series and on the ride that we just went on?
Hey, yeah, how are you?
Good.
Yeah, I'm just a little upset with Thompson taking out Wheeler because it's usually when you're in that position, he's got the ball. It's his game.
He's the ace, right?
It's his game.
Yep.
This is it. Either, he's done or he's out. And you can't take the ball away from him, but he did. I don't know. There's managers that lose baseball games. Very few. But Thompson lost that baseball game yesterday.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because with the decisions he's made, he's won a lot of baseball games for this team.
He won a lot of baseballs, but yesterday it was his game.
Yep.
Yeah, one more batter to get through, another inning, and he was throwing 98 miles an hour, 96, 98. Come on, the guy, he wasn't tired.
No, he looked great. That's the best he looked. Now, the only thing is, and I agree with you, because I felt the same way as it happened. I always am a guy that rides with the ace, especially when he's pitching the way he was pitching. The velocity didn't take a dip. He still was hitting his spots. I would have went Wheeler there. Does it change your mind at all? Or not change your mind, but does it make you think at all that that's something that they have been doing the entire postseason? They've been going to their high leverage guys early in games like this, in the 5th inning, 6th inning. They've been doing it all postseason. That's kind of how they got him there, right?
I understand that. But this is the World Series.
Yep.
This is a whole different ball game. This is one and you're out. And this is his game. And they say this guy's could be a Cy Young pitcher. And this is his game. This is his game. Okay, if the guy got a hit, double or whatever, all right, then it's over. But it was his game. I don't know.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Ed, thank you for calling in. I appreciate it. I can hear the frustration in his voice. Thank you for calling, Ed. And I think a lot of people out there share the same frustrations as Ed, where they've been doing it all postseason long. They've been going to their high leverage guys in high leverage situations, no matter what the pitch count was for the starting pitcher. We saw it with Wheeler earlier in the postseason. We saw it with Ranger Suarez. We saw it with Aaron Nola. We saw it with everyone. That's what they've been doing. That's what got him here to an extent. Rob Thompson had the Midas touch this entire season, and it just ran out. The magic ran out. The Midas touch ran out. But that's what's so frustrating to me, and I just mentioned it, is how good Wheeler looked. He was absolutely dealing. He wanted that ball. He said it himself after the game. The audio, the clip that we played just a little while ago, thanks to NBC Sports Philadelphia for that clip. He was shocked that he was coming out. He was a little caught off guard by coming out of that baseball game, and it stings. And that's gonna be the talk of the town for the next couple months, honestly, is Rob Thompson's decision. It all came down to that, and he just made the wrong decision at the wrong time.
See, but that's where I'm not.
Or is it the right decision at the wrong time?
I think it was the wrong execution of the right decision.
Okay.
Like, I think you obviously don't bring Alvarado in there to, give up a home run. That's not the thought process is there's one out. It's first and third. I got my left-handed high leverage reliever who's gotten me out of situations like this before, who, since he came back from AAA, has been one of the best relievers in all of baseball. and he's going to pump it by Alvarez, or he's going to induce an out that doesn't allow a run to score and protect this lead. And that's also the concern that you have when you've seen a guy a number of times. When Alvarez has seen Wheeler twice already in this game, and all he has to do as the best hitter on that team is put the ball in play, really to try and score a run, there's a better chance of him having a read on what he's getting than someone that he hasn't seen yet on that day. And I get he's seen Alvarado in the series. So again, I think he's in the right decision. They just didn't get the execution. And this is the decision that he's made time and time again. When you look at Wheeler this season, the third time through a lineup against a team, I mean, the OPS jumps to over 700, which isn't a very impressive OPS, but it jumps from 609 the first time through the lineup, 583 second time through the lineup. Like, it becomes something where teams, and that's just how baseball works.
Yeah, that's how
you
the game of baseball is nowadays.
You see a guy more often, you're going to be able to hit him. They've got a million eyes,
especially the heart of the order.
Yeah, they've got a million eyes on these pitchers. You know, you've got the assistant to the assistant to the assistant who's got an iPad there trying to dissect it for him. Again, I can't rip him for a decision that he's made time and time again that I've thought, okay, makes sense.
Yeah, no, and I feel the same way. That's just the way that the game of baseball is going now, where they don't like having these starting pitchers go 3 times through the order. They don't, because you're just seeing more pitches, and it's especially in the heart of the order. As I just mentioned, it's something that Rob Thompson's been doing the entire postseason. He's been managing every game, every single postseason game, like it's Game 7 of the World Series, and I've applauded him for that. And I've given him props for that, because I think that's how you should manage. Some may call it overmanaging, but when you trust your guys and when you trust your bullpen as much as he does, listen, you're in such a weird place, right? Because like, you want Wheeler out there in that situation, you want your horse out there in the biggest situation of the season when his stuff is as good as it is. But you also understand that Rob Thompson's been making that decision all postseason long, and it was trust Philly Rob. In Rob we trust. Ride with Philly Rob all season until it wasn't, until the worst possible outcome could have happened. Also, I heard a couple things. You can't go Ranger Suarez in that situation. Ranger Suarez is not coming in a dirty inning like that where there's a guy on first and third with 1 out. To get 2 outs, if there's 2 outs, maybe you bring him in. I still think they probably go Alvarado there. I think bringing in Ranger Suarez there would have been a poor decision. Seranthony Dominguez, a lot of people wanted him in as well if it wasn't going to be Wheeler. They're playing matchups. That's a righty in Seranthony Dominguez going against two lefties, in Yordan Alvarez and then Kyle Tucker, potentially, if you get to him in that situation. I know Seranthony Dominguez has probably been your best pitcher this postseason, best reliever this postseason, a majority of this season, other than when he came off of the IL. But if you weren't going to go Wheeler there, I was content just going with Alvarado. I feel like that was the only move in that situation, personally. Do you feel the same way, or would you have been fine with either of the other 2 guys in that situation if you weren't going Wheeler?
I'm going Alvarado.
Yeah.
I'm going Alvarado. That's again, you're riding, when you say you're riding your horse, that's the horse you've been riding out of the bullpen. He's played in the 17 postseason games. He has gone up against the opposing team's best hitter 12 times in those 17 games in similar situations. That's the way they've managed. That's the way they've gotten here. That's the decision that's been made.
Yeah, I agree. It sucks. Today sucks.
Oh, it sucks.
It is not fun.
It sucks.
We didn't even mention the Union, which I'm going to mention. I don't even want to say it right now. I don't even want to utter it, that we lost 2 championships on the same day in the same city for the first time the first time in the history of the world. And the way that it happened, the Union going up 3-2 with a huge goal and then letting one up in literally the last minute of the game, of the match, and losing in penalty kicks when you have the best goalkeeper in the MLS. To lose like that, nice little appetizer to losing the World Series, and that offense going completely cold. Rob Thompson making the decision he did.
Just a brutal afternoon to evening. I don't know if anyone else was like me, but I had the whole watch party, afternoon, evening, doubleheader with friends. And the joy that was felt when they went up 3-2 to the just absolute despair we were all feeling by around midnight was an incredible roller coaster that had just an awful, awful ending. I don't know.
That just went off of a cliff.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people in Delaware Valley had similar afternoons with people, and it's like, I love you, but I don't want to see or talk to you at all anymore.
Yeah, I was sitting next to my girlfriend, and she was like, you okay? And I was like, yeah, I just don't want to talk right now. Like, that's how I was. I just sat there and just watched, just sulked, and I feel like that's how a lot of people were. Today is a venting session here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Let me know what you guys are feeling. Is the wound still fresh as it is for me and Ray? Are you appreciating this ride now? Did the extra hour of sleep and getting a full night of sleep help you help your opinion and just be like, man, listen, that sucked, but this was an awesome ride. Are you there yet? Are you angry at Rob Thompson? Are you ready to fire people? Let me know what you're feeling. 610-632-0975 to get into today's venting session. We're going to talk to Bob Wankel from Crossing Broad in the next segment. But other than that, it's all you guys. I want to hear from you. Again, 610-632-0975. I'm Tom Alvord. That's Ray Dunn. And you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
97.5 The Fanatic.
Yeah. This sucks. This weekend sucks. Today sucks. Yesterday sucked. But you know what doesn't suck? Winning some money. If you're placing bets on this weekend's games, call Free Winners for your free picks at 888-366-3733. That's 888-366-FREE. Paul Nolan from Free Winners is an NFL expert handicapper. The team at Free Winners work around the clock to uncover the best on-field matchups. They use mathematical methods and algorithms, taking every detail into account. Before you place your bets on this weekend's games, call Free Winners for this week's free picks. Their number is 888-366-3733. That's 888-366-3733. You got your $49 best bet guarantee from Paul and the guys. He gave you the free pick of the day. He likes Detroit and Green Bay's over. They're going to give you picks on Buffalo, New York. They're going to give you picks on Carolina, Cincinnati, Tennessee, Kansas City. With all these injuries and the craziness that the NFL world has been this season, you need to talk to the professionals, and that's why you have to call Free Winners. The system they use at freewinners.net is awesome, and they treat every client as an individual with a different set of needs. One size does not fit all. So again, before you place your bets on this weekend's games, give Free Winners a call for your free picks at 888-366-3733. That's 888-366-3733.
Hey, it's Cuz. It's a great time to be a sports fan in Philadelphia. Also a great time to get healthy, especially when it only takes 40 days to lose 20 to 40-plus pounds with NJ Diet. NJ Diet's contractually guaranteed money-back program starts with personalized supplements based on your hair, saliva, and blood work. Then NJ Diet uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet plan and workout regimen to help you keep the weight off. And don't worry, NJ Diet's with you every step of the way. You're fully monitored by their certified staff to make sure you're burning fat and not just losing water. You'll have access to the doctor's personal email and phone number. NJ Diet is committed to you keeping the weight off. It's all natural. No shots, no hormones, no prepackaged foods. Ew, and no surgery. Offices close by: King of Prussia, Cherry Hill, Newark, Delaware. Available from home with online video consultations. Visit NJDiet.com or call 855-5NJ-DIET. That's 855-5NJ-DIET. Lose the weight for good.
Hey, this is Brian, and I'm the owner of Valley Grove Construction. We are expanding our team and hiring skilled and creative carpenters. As a company that truly values its talented carpenters, we prove it with top dollar pay starting at $30 an hour, a healthy work-life balance, an aggressive 401k plan, a generous vacation package, paid holidays, and even a $100 weekly travel allowance. You heard me right. That's over $5,000 a year to help with gas and vehicle expenses. If you're interested in a variety of carpentry work like framing additions, setting kitchen cabinets, tiling bathrooms, basement remodeling, and historical restoration, then apply today at valleygroveconstruction.com and click the Join Our Team link. If you're tired of not working with great people, not doing the skilled work that you're capable of, or maybe you're self-employed and you're just tired of chasing down all of your suppliers for the materials that seem to never come in, then apply today at valleygroveconstruction.com. That's valleygroveconstruction.com and click the Join Our Team link.
There's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider. Actually, there's a few. Comcast Business offers the fastest, reliable network, the peace of mind that comes with Security Edge, helping to protect all your connected devices, and the most reliable 5G mobile network. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Technology solutions that put you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
There's never been a better time to get gig speed internet and advanced security from Comcast Business. With our new gig bundles, you'll get 20% more speed for less. That's more value for your business and more speed to keep all your connected devices running smoothly. So get an incredible offer from the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to learn more. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Comcast Business Internet required. Actual speeds vary and are not guaranteed.
We've been together for 30 years.
35.
35 years together, and never an argument.
Oh, we fight a lot.
That we couldn't settle. But we finally agreed on cannabis, of all things.
Our friends had a good experience with it, so we decided to give it a shot.
And we both agreed we didn't want to go sit in some doctor's office with a bunch of masked strangers waiting for a medical cannabis card.
We did.
Oh, thank God.
So we went to veryhill.com and qualified online for our medical cannabis cards in just a few minutes. The simple payment plan made it very manageable.
Yeah, woman gets what she wants.
I'm a force of nature.
Join the millions of people who've qualified online for a medical cannabis card with VeriHeal. One low fee covers the cost of consultation and the card. And if you don't qualify, your fee is refunded 100%. Get started today with easy financing. Visit VeriHeal now. That's VeriHeal. VeriHeal.com.
Dancing crew, trip for two, nailed the final interview. Game with Doug, brand new mug. Come here, kid, give me a hug. The more you want to do, the more we want to do. Boosters designed for COVID-19 variants are now available. If you've had your primary series, schedule an updated COVID-19 booster appointment as soon as you're eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
Sure, we have 30 seconds to tell you that drivers who switch to Progressive could save big. But then what? Well, there is a nice piece of stock music playing behind me that a talented composer worked really hard on. So let's enjoy it. Wow, almost overshadows the saving big when you switch to Progressive part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
If you have an appetite for saving money, then you should get the new Rofo Rewards app from Royal Farms. Use the Rofo Rewards app to place mobile orders for pickup or delivery and earn royalty points to redeem for free stuff. And right now, new Rofo Rewards members will get a free any-size coffee for signing up. You can download the new Rofo Rewards app at the Apple App Store or Google Play today. You'll find it's a very appealing app to have. Real fresh, real fast. Royal Farms.
Hey, Sixer fans, it's Matt Cord for the Bet Parks app, the official winning partner of your Philadelphia 76ers. The Bet Parks app is fun to use. Build around on what you want right from your phone. It's easy to sign up, great customer service, and faster to win than ever before. Download the Bet Parks app today. The Bet Parks app, the official winning partner of your Philadelphia 76ers.
See website for terms and conditions. Must be 21 and in Pennsylvania or New Jersey. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fall is finally here. Summer's in the rear view and winter's on the way. Pretty soon, temperatures will start to drop while your utility bills will start to rise. Fortunately, savings season is finally here too, with special financing offers and rebates on a new high-efficiency heating and cooling system from Trane, including a whole-house air filtration system to keep the air you breathe clean and safe. Visit Trane.com to find an independent Delaware Valley Trane Comfort specialist near you. It's hard to stop a Trane. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for details.
Want to be the first to know what's happening at the Fanatic? Go to 975thefanatic.com and sign up for the Fanatic MVP Club. The Fanatic MVP Club. There's never a subscription fee, and it's only from 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
This cheerful music isn't making me feel better. I know you didn't put it in there, Mike Vito, who's producing. This is a fun song.
We got to try and bring the vibes back for you somehow.
No, they're not. They're not back. No, they
I know
we
it's going
can't
to take a
fake
little while.
We can't fake it. We can't fake the joy.
I love this song when I was a kid. Chingy. It's a good song, but not today. I don't like this song. It makes me even more sad. Makes me even more sad than I am. I want to let you guys know this weekend's programming is brought to you by Pumpman Philly. For 24/7 emergency pump repair or replacement, visit pumpmanphilly.com. The guys to know to fix your flow. Yes, the wound is still very fresh for myself being Tom Alvord. Ray Dunn sitting next to me in the co-hosting chair. I got Mike Vito producing, Haley Taylor on YouTube. Hello, YouTube, once again. Today is a venting session, as I've mentioned multiple times throughout this program. I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are, whether you want to yell, scream, cry, applaud this team for the run that they went on. I want to hear a little bit of everything. There are no wrong answers, unless you say, like, fire Rob Thompson or something like that. I'll let you say it, but that's a wrong answer. Like, come on. Just got to
You'll get a buzzer. You'll definitely get dropped.
Yeah, you'll probably be.
I'll drop you. I don't know how to work the phones here. I'll drop them. I'll figure it out.
That's fair enough. Good job by you. But, today's eventing session, because despite the magical run that we went on, the wound is still very fresh for me. I know down the road, a couple days from now, I'm going to look back on this run, and I'm going to love what they did, because we had so many great moments. The Hoskins bat spike, Harper's home run, the biggest home run of his career, the biggest home run in Phillies history, sending them to the World Series.
Some would say the swing of his life.
Swing of his life. Look at that, Joe Davis. Castellanos and some of the catches that he made, the bullpen, stepping up for you time and time again, except last night, unfortunately. This bullpen that was the same bullpen that had the second highest ERA in MLB history one year, and then follows up the next year with the most blown saves in franchise history. Yes, I know it's different guys, but that same Phillies bullpen stepped up for you huge. The biggest thing to me is just, and I mentioned it earlier, and I mentioned it to you, Ray, it's so hard to get back here. It is so hard to get back to the World Series, and that's why I feel the way I feel today. That's why I'm not on the happy train yet and looking back on this yet. It's just because I think this team can go on a little bit of a run, and we're going to talk about if this team is the 2008 team or the 1993 team. That's something we're going to discuss a little bit later on in the show. I still think this team has a good core. There's enough good young guys here. I trust Dave Dombrowski. I trust Don Middleton. You got those young arms and Andrew Painter and Mick Abel. I think we need to control our expectations with those two, especially coming up. These are still really young kids, but it's something to be excited about. But it's just so hard to get back here, and that's why I feel the way I am today. Despite we could be a 100-win team next season, there are no guarantees that you're getting to this spot again, and that's what hurts so much. The 2008 team, that might have been the least talented team of that run. 2011, that was a juggernaut. They didn't win a postseason series. That's what kills me, is that I don't know if we'll be able to get back here again, not because they're not talented enough, but because baseball is really hard and baseball is really weird.
Ask anyone from Atlanta. I mean, last year, 88 wins. You get in because the division's crap, and then all of a sudden, this year, you feel a whole heck of a lot better going into the postseason than you probably did a year ago. And you're sitting there watching.
Yeah, the healthy Acuna.
LCS. Yeah,
the healthy Ozzie Albies. I know he got hurt later in the series, but...
And historically speaking for that Braves franchise, too. I mean, all those years they were good. Number of championships they got out of that. It's tough. It is tough to get back to. And that's, again, like you said, that's why today I'm just totally bummed. I enjoyed every bit of this run. And I had that thought when I was walking out of Game 5, where I was like, man, I'm going to miss this place until April. That's a shame. This was an incredible run, being down here in South Philly for a lot of it and seeing everything happen. I was so grateful for all of it, but you're just so bummed out because it doesn't finish with another one of those red flags waving in center field at CBP. Yep. And it's tough.
We'll get a blue flag though, right?
Blue. Yeah, you'll get a blue flag. Blue flag. Not as cool.
But yeah, so very frustrating. It's still a great season. I think this is a great core here, but it's really, really tough to get back. Look at the Dodgers. They have an all-star team every year. They've won one World Series in this run since they've been good. It's really tough to get back, and that's what hurts the most. We're going to talk to Bob Wankel from Crossing Broad. Phillies writer from Crossing Broad does a great job in about 5 minutes. Really want to get Bob's thoughts on this series, on this run, and everything. Other than that, it's all you guys. The venting session today on 97.5 The Fanatic. We're going to go over to Northeast Philly and talk to Mike. Mike, I want to say good morning, but it's not a good morning. How we feeling, man?
It's not. But you know what? Let's just admit it was a great run.
It was.
And that's exactly what it was. It was a great run. But let's take and myself included, let's take our homer hats off, and let's be realists for a second.
Yep.
This team is who they are the entire year. They were able to put a run together over the last 3 weeks to sustain it because they were able to throw out 2 pitchers, 3 pitchers. Over the course of the season, they can't do it. There's a lot of holes in this lineup, a lot. And when you have 2 guys that are in the top 10 in Major League Baseball in strikeouts, Hoskins was 10, Schwarber was 1. That's an issue.
Yep.
We have no one that could put the ball in play. We are that college basketball team that lives by the 3, dies by the 3. We live by the homer, or we don't put any runs on. And that's a fact.
Yep.
No one puts the ball in play. We don't have a guy that can get you a single. We don't have a guy that can get you a double. We just don't. We don't. And it was funny because last time I'm sitting there going, we put a highlight film together, and there should be this season. It was great. It was a great run. Listen, the city came together, the hunt, Red October. It was great. But in reality, what are the highlights? all the home runs.
All homers. Couple catches from Castellanos, but
exactly, yes.
Yeah.
Couple good catches, but in reality, there's no like, all right, you got a single, then you got another. We moved runners over, and then we got like a double, like a 2-run double. There's nothing like that.
You got a couple. You had the double from Stott. You had a couple hits from Segura and Bohm, but for the most part, it's been all do or die.
It's been all bombs.
Yeah.
And if we don't hit the bomb, we don't get on, and we have no one to get on base, and that's just a fact. And the other is, listen. Do we give Castellanos a pass and say, listen, it was a bad year, or is that who he is? Because, after what was Game 5 on Friday on the radio, on all the shows, he looked a little better. He was taking a couple pitches, but then last night he went back to the same thing, first pitch swinging. And when you have a junk pitcher up there, and listen, he's a great pitcher. He reminds me of Greg Maddox. Greg Maddox never threw heat, always threw junk, and always got you. And you know what? That's all he had to do was throw one junk pitch to each guy, and they chase. And here's Castellanos down to his last – well, the team is down to the last at-bat, and he's first pitch swinging.
Yep.
I mean, come on.
And Harper right before him, first pitch swinging.
You're right.
Yep.
Harper, same thing, first pitch swinging. I mean, again, I'll put my homer hat on. We give Harper a pass because of who he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we're not nowhere any close to here without Harper.
We're okay with him first pitch swinging, but
sure.
But yeah, I just feel. Listen, it was a great run. Today sucks, and here comes the rain. This is like,
yeah, just a gut punch, right?
It's like Christ. But let's just say it was a great run, and what you were just saying leading up to my phone call was, you're right. It's 100% tough to get back to where it is. And, Atlanta, L.A., I mean, they put juggernauts together, and they don't even get there.
Yep.
So it's like, where are we going to be? What kind of moves are we going to make? I'm not a Hoskins fan. Everyone overlooked what he did the other night. That simple ball where there was a man on third. He could have came home, and it would have only been a 1-run game. But he went off the top of his glove.
Again.
Exactly, again. And everyone just kind of dismissed that. It was like, no one brought that up. And it's like, damn, I'm like, where do we go?
Yeah,
Where
Mike,
do we go?
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. I feel your frustration. This is a flawed roster. It is. And they got really hot at the right time.
I love the comparison to the college team shoots threes, because that's the Goliath Slayer.
It is.
That's the team that can go on the run, the team that knocks down threes, plays fast.
That's the Ali Farouk Manesh and UNI. Is that who it was? UNI?
I think you got that right.
Regardless, yes.
But yeah, that's exactly what this team was able to do. They got hot at the right time. I love that comparison. That's going to be the thing when I get in the parking lot driveway. I'm going to think,
nice.
Sorry, I'm taking that from you.
Should have dumped them and then just stole it yourself.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
That's rookie mistake on my part. I haven't been in this chair for a while.
We're going to get back to your calls because I want to hear what you guys have to say on this venting session, this gloomy Sunday morning here on 97.5 The Fanatic. But I want to talk to a guy who I appreciate very much, and I love the work he does. This is Bob Wankel from Crossing Broad, a Phillies writer from Crossing Broad. Bob, morning. Not good morning, just morning. How you feeling, man?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a tough one for everybody right now. Still kind of processing and decompressing after what happened last night, for sure.
Yeah, just brutal. And listen, we're going to talk about the run, and I think when we look back on it, we're going to appreciate this run. But to me, the wound is still fresh. To Ray, it is as well. I want to get down to the biggest talking point here. The decision from Rob Thompson taking out Zach Wheeler in the 6th inning, man on first, man on third, 1 out. Was it the right move? What would you have done differently, or would you have done the same thing?
Well, was it the right move? No. I think we all know that now. I mean, in the moment, I did not love it. I understood it, though. And I think that for me was what I was trying to convey last night. I mean, I know it was a pretty raw moment for everybody, and everyone wants to point fingers, and you're angry and you're in disbelief. But, I tried to make the point that, no, I would not have done it. Where Zach Wheeler was at was his velocity. Four-seam fastball was still hitting 97. He was around 96.5 with his sinker. So in those previous games where you saw him get yanked in the 5th, 6th, 7th inning, and Rob was really quick with the hook, you saw that decline in velocity, where that really wasn't there last night. Now, I get why he did it in that, Yordan Alvarez had hit 2 fly balls against Wheeler. One was deep enough that it would have been a sac fly. The other contact wouldn't have done it. And he did not want to concede that run at third base. And he felt that Jose Alvarado had a better chance to, generate a swing and a miss in that spot. And it didn't happen. So, I get the thought process. It's also how Rob Thompson managed throughout pretty much the duration of the postseason, and it worked. And last night, at the absolute worst time, it didn't work. And so I think that it's fair to question. Zach Wheeler was certainly unhappy about it after the game. I think that's fair. At the same time, I'm having a hard time killing the manager this morning when, listen, they did not hit, and their best relievers didn't get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the biggest thing to me. I completely agree. Where I would have left Wheeler in, I always ride with my ace, especially when his stuff was as good as it was last night. But this is a move that Rob Thompson's been making the entire postseason, and it's worked all postseason. We've seen Suarez get taken out early. We saw Wheeler get taken out earlier. I think it was the Braves series, might have been the Padres series, I forget. But we see he goes to his high leverage guys in high leverage situations. He trusts these guys. So to me, I wasn't surprised by it at all. Was it the right move at the end of the day? Probably not, because he lost the game. But we've seen him do it this entire postseason run.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just said it. And, you look at how they've managed someone like Ranger Suarez throughout this postseason. There have been some quick hooks, against San Diego. They took him out after 5 innings. And everyone goes, well, you can't do that. You can't do that. Well, then he's able to bring him back 2 days later and, hey, it all works out. And then all of a sudden he has this historic NLCS and everyone's applauding Rob Thompson for it. Now, I understand that last night's do or die, different situation. I would say, though, and I would point out, I don't know if anyone else has yet, but at some point in that game, Jose Alvarado was going to have to get important outs. And at some point in that game, Sir Anthony Dominguez was going to have to get important outs. Now, maybe in different matchups, not bringing in a guy with runners on the corners, maybe does that put Jose Alvarado in a better position for success? Possibly. But that's what I just keep coming back to. I think that everyone can understand that there was an opportunity for the Phillies to win this series. I think you can appreciate the run, but I do think that you ultimately have to kind of take a step back and say the Phillies had to play an A-level game in this series at least 4 times, and they didn't do that. And, I mean, they certainly didn't do that over the final 3 games.
And talking about that A game, hey, Bob, thanks for joining us. I want to jump into that offense that really the big money guys in the last 3 games did not come through and produce. We mentioned earlier on the show, 2 for 47 from the 2 to 5 hitters in the lineup in those 3 games. What did you see from those hitters?
Yeah, it was really tough to watch. I mean, and I think that everyone appreciates JT Realmuto, and I think he was the best catcher in baseball this season. He had some really big postseason moments. And Nick Castellanos is sort of a mess the entire year, and it just kind of came crashing down the World Series offensively. Just looked totally lost. He hit under 150 in the World Series. But I think for whatever reason, Rhys Hoskins is the guy that everyone wants to talk about the most. And, I mean, he went 3 for 25 in the World Series with 10 strikeouts. And, he was not very good. And I think moving forward now, it poses a lot of questions. Like, we all do this. Like, we're still in this mode of, okay, let's try to sort through what happened last night, but you immediately go to what's next? What are they going to do? And I think Rhys Hoskins is very much at the center of that. They've really struggled against curveballs over the final 3 games. I did not put a ball in play that resulted in a hit against the curveball the last 2 games of the series. The Astros have the pitching staff that can really, really take advantage of weaknesses. And, the Phillies, for all of their offensive punch, are extremely streaky, and they are mistake hitters. And, Astros don't make a lot of mistakes, and that's what you saw kind of play out in those last couple games there.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a flawed roster. We're talking to Bob Wankel of Crossing Broad, Phillies writer for Crossing Broad. This is a flawed roster, and it's a do-or-die type roster, the way that this offense works, where it's boom or bust, it seems like at times, where you can get 7 runs in 2 innings, and then you can get no hits and 10 strikeouts the next 2 games combined. So it's frustrating. Dave Dombrowski has a lot of work to do this season. Despite this magical run that we've been on, do you see major changes coming, or do you see more tweaks happening, a couple of pitcher added here or there, or do you think we're seeing some major quote-unquote changes coming this offseason from Dave Dombrowski in the front office?
Yeah, that's the question of the offseason. I don't think that they can flip over, 6 prominent players here. Like, I don't expect to see 3 different everyday starters in the lineup, but I think that this front office knows that this was an 87-win team that was clearly the 3rd best team in the division, despite what the postseason results were. You can talk about resilience and toughness and all these intangible factors that the Phillies were able to ride, the close-knit nature of the locker room. All of those things help power this run. but you can't rely on those intangibles moving forward. And I think that this front office is sharp enough and aggressive enough to understand that. And so if I'm a Phillies fan this morning, I think there's probably some concern of, geez, if they would have just gotten bounced by St. Louis, they would have said that's a good step. Obviously, we have a lot of work to do. Are the Phillies going to kid themselves into thinking, hey, we're right there. We're 2 games away, and if things shake out differently in Game 5, maybe we go down to Houston and win this thing. I don't think this front office feels that way. I think that they know that they have to add another impact bat. I think that they know they have to get better defensively. I think that you saw in this postseason, I know it's a little bit the nature of how the game's played, but you basically had 2 starting pitchers that you felt really good about going in, guys that were only giving you 5 innings. So I think they know that they have to get a little bit better in that rotation, a little bit deeper. And I think they know that they really had 2 relievers that they felt, maybe 3 relievers that they felt really good about in the postseason. So I think they know they need to build out that bullpen depth. So to answer your question, I think they're very cognizant of the fact that they will have to improve this roster to give themselves a legitimate chance to get back to the postseason on more than just the strength of we all love each other and, the crowd was really loud and it was good vibes. I think they know they have to do something here. And I would expect, and you heard Bryce Harper allude to it last night, there are going to be more pieces next year. I think that there's pressure and there's an expectation to get the core group of these guys, Zach Wheeler, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber. These guys aren't 25 years old. Their window, and I'm not saying that the Phillies are doomed beyond 2023 or 2024, but the window is now, and I think the Phillies know that, and I think that they'll try to make moves to capitalize on it.
Yeah, I completely agree. You look at this core, and I know there's some nice pieces. You have a Suarez and a Stott and a Bohm, Brandon Marsh as well, but this core, they're all late 20s, early 30s. So I completely agree, and I've said it before the postseason run even started. This window is now. Like, it's the next 3 years, really, you have to really get this thing going. And they can build the farm system and you continue to bring guys up and groom people and stuff like that. But for the most part, Schwarber, Castellanos, Hoskins, if he's still here, Bryce Harper, JT, they're all early 30s. In their primes now, you have to capitalize on it. So I completely agree. Last one for you, Bob. We're talking to Bob Wankel from Crossing Broad, Phillies writer for Crossing Broad. Is the wound still fresh for you? Or have you looked back and reminisced on, man, this was a really, really cool run? And if that's the case, just describe what this run meant to you and how this run, what it means to the Phillies going forward.
Yeah, so I actually started covering the team in 2019 and saw a lot of bad baseball down there, a lot of uninspired baseball, a lot of uninspired crowds. And the one thing that I will take away from this is, yeah, it was a great run, and being able to cover an NLCS clincher and be in the locker room post game, like from a professional standpoint, it's not something I expected to do this year, and it was unique and interesting and fun for me. But the thing that I'll take away more than anything from this season is that I think that this team helped revive interest and passion for baseball in this city. I was just out of college when they won it in 2008, and they were making their run with those guys for a number of years, 14, 15 years ago. And I think that it fell off. I think we all know that. And I just think that there was some disinterest in the sport, really, in this city, because the Phillies just didn't give the fans here a lot to get behind. And this team surely did that. And I think what you saw over the last month, with the city really rallying behind the team, the crowds were electric at Citizens Bank Park, the kids at school were dressing up. I mean, the whole thing was really cool to see, and I think that that's going to carry over into next season. Obviously, they'll have to win when they get to next season to sustain that, but I think they really, really kind of reinvigorated the sport of baseball in the city, and I think that's huge.
Yeah, completely agree, man. You see, like, people, little kids, you mentioned at elementary school, probably didn't watch a second of regular season baseball, all in with the jerseys and just everything. It really was a magical run when you look back on it, but to me, that wound is still very fresh. Again, Bob, thank you so much for joining us. Bob Wankel from Crossing Broad. I really appreciate it, man. I hope we can talk in the future.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it very much. Again, Bob Wankel from Crossing Broad. You could follow him on Twitter at Bob Wankel CB. That's WANKEL. Really good perspective there, and liked what he had to say about what it did to the city and how baseball's kind of alive again in this city.
It's amazing. And the people reaching out to you that we're not baseball fans. You know for a fact we're not huge baseball fans. They were not spending their days at CBP that were like, I'm all in. I can't wait to see this team.
Making plans for Game 5, Game 6. Where are we going to be? We got to watch this. Everything. Yeah, it was
awesome. The energy, and to see CBP like that, I mean, I never went to a playoff game during that 7-11 run. So getting to see what CBP is like in person for a playoff game, my goodness.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not there. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm looking forward to the day when I look back and I'm, I'm similar age to what my dad was in 93. And that's an amazing time for him. And I know you've brought up 93 a few times. To me, I can't wait till I look back at it the way he looks back at 93. Like, wow, that was great. I can't do it yet. I can't. I'm still so hurt because up 2-1 at home in the World Series, and you lose 3 straight.
And it's really tough to get to the World Series, and it's really tough to get back to the World Series. And that's what frustrates me the most about this is it wasn't expected. No one thought we would be in this situation, except maybe I guess Rob Thompson and Bryce Harper. Other than that, nobody in the world thought the Phillies would be in the situation that they were in, just 2 wins away from the World Series. But despite all that, despite them doing what nobody thought they could do, I'm still hurting today because it is so tough to get back to the World Series. We're discussing everything here on 97.5 The Fanatic, 610-632-0975. It's a venting session. I want to hear from you guys. How are we feeling after this run? How are we feeling after last night? Are you mad? Are you crying? Are you angry? I want to hear your thoughts on Zach Wheeler being taken out of the game in the 6th inning and Rob Thompson's decision to do that. Again, 610-632-0975. I also have a question regarding this baseball team that we just watched the past year. Is this team, are we going to look back on this team, is this more of a 1993 team or is this a 2008 team where we're on the start of a magical run? I'm very interested on your thoughts on that, Ray. Ray Dunn, that is. Myself, Tom Alvord, and I'm curious on your thoughts out there. So we're going to bring that up in the next segment. We're going to start with Gary in South Jersey, followed by Eric in Staten Island. Got a couple open lines for the first time basically all day. And it is all you guys from this point on. Again, 610-632-0975. I'm Tom Alvord, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
97.5 The Fanatic.
We've been together for 30 years.
35.
35 years together, and never an argument.
Oh, we fight a lot.
That we couldn't settle. But we finally agreed on cannabis, of all things.
Our friends had a good experience with it, so we decided to give it a shot.
And we both agreed we didn't want to go sit in some doctor's office with a bunch of masked strangers waiting for a medical cannabis card.
We did.
Oh, thank God.
So we went to veryhill.com and qualified online for our medical cannabis cards in just a few minutes. The simple payment plan made it very manageable.
Yeah, woman gets what she wants.
I'm a force of nature.
Join the millions of people who've qualified online for a medical cannabis card with VeriHeal. One low fee covers the cost of consultation and the card. And if you don't qualify, your fee is refunded 100%. Get started today with easy financing. Visit VeriHeal now. That's VeriHeal. VeriHeal.com.
Now's the perfect time to download FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge. Hey, it's Jen Scordo. FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. New customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That is free bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Just got to sign up using the promo code SCORDO. It's a beautiful time right now in the sports betting world. You've got the NFL in full swing, college football too, the NHL, MLS as well. There are so many options on the FanDuel app. You have to check them all out, from money lines to spreads to player props and future bets too. It's all so easy to use in one app. They've got live betting too. You can get updated odds on games that have already started. And most importantly, you get paid super fast. It's all on an app that's safe, secure, and so easy to use. Sign up using my promo code SCORDO for your no-sweat first bet. That's promo code SCORDO and make every moment more this season with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. Refund issued is non-withdrawable free bets that expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Oak Hills Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with ED and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical breakthrough that has helped thousands of men. Our wave technology is backed by 50 clinical studies, including from Cambridge University. It's proven to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED and turn back the clock in the bedroom, call us now. And not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique that produces immediate results in the bedroom. I don't think I've ever heard of it failing. This offer is worth $600, but it's free to those that call in the next 2 minutes. 215-302-9999. That's 215-302-9999. Guys, put a stop to your ED and get your love life back. Call Oak Hills Medical Clinic now to qualify for this unprecedented offer. 215-302-9999.
Hey, it's Cuz. It's a great time to be a sports fan in Philadelphia. Also a great time to get healthy, especially when it only takes 40 days to lose 20 to 40-plus pounds with NJ Diet. NJ Diet's contractually guaranteed money-back program starts with personalized supplements based on your hair, saliva, and blood work. Then NJ Diet uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet plan and workout regimen to help you keep the weight off. And don't worry, NJ Diet's with you every step of the way. You're fully monitored by their certified staff to make sure you're burning fat and not just losing water. You'll have access to the doctor's personal email and phone number. NJ Diet is committed to you keeping the weight off. It's all natural. No shots, no hormones, no prepackaged foods. Ew, and no surgery. Offices close by: King of Prussia, Cherry Hill, Newark, Delaware. Available from home with online video consultations. Visit NJDiet.com or call 855-5NJ-DIET. That's 855-5NJ-DIET. Lose the weight for good.
Traveling, volunteering, spending time with family. What's your retirement look like? With income planning from Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor can help you grow and protect your wealth. They'll look at your full financial picture and help you create a flexible strategy that considers things like market conditions and healthcare expenses, so you can stop worrying about the future and enjoy whatever comes next. Visit fidelity.com/income planning. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE, SIPC.
Hey, to become the next generation of innovators, entrepreneurs, and creators, we're gonna need some things.
Like a high-speed internet connection that can turn my ideas into reality.
Like the skills to become the world's most powerful coder.
Like the tools to start my sustainable shoe business.
You just heard some of the millions of students Comcast is supporting through Project Up, our comprehensive initiative and $1 billion commitment to open doors for the next generation so they can build a future of unlimited possibilities. Learn more at comcast.com/projectup.
Asthma symptoms can attack anywhere, like on a city street. Now you can get fast relief anywhere with new improved Primatene Mist, the only FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. So whether you need relief of symptoms at the park or at your kitchen table, Primatene Mist starts working quickly, opening up your airways to restore free breathing. For temporary relief of mild symptoms of intermittent asthma, use Primatene Mist and breathe easy again. Available at CVS, Rite Aid, and Walgreens. Use as directed.
Bet Rivers Casino app has so many slots, your head will spin. There's the classics like 88 Fortunes and Jinji Baoshi, and new favorites like Dancing Drum Explosion and Hurricane Horse Coin Combo. Plus, right now, when you make a first-time deposit of $50 using code CASINO, you'll get $200 in free play. That's $200. Download the Bet Rivers Casino app today. It's a whole new game.
Presented by Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Go passionately. Go fearlessly. Go confidently.
Go Birds!
Go confidently towards your goals with First Trust, Philly's hometown bank for nearly 90 years, and the official bank of the Philadelphia Eagles. We're focused on getting you over the goal line. So go with conviction. Go with trust.
Go Birds!
And go forward with us by your side. First Trust Bank, the official bank of Philadelphia Dreams. Oh, and go Birds.
Hey, this is Brian, and I'm the owner of Valley Grove Construction. We're expanding our team and hiring skilled and creative carpenters. As a company that truly values its talented carpenters, we prove it with top dollar pay starting at $30 an hour, an aggressive 401k plan, a generous vacation package, paid holidays, and even a $100 weekly travel allowance. You heard me right. That's over $5,000 a year to help with gas and vehicle expenses. If you're tired of not working with great people or just not doing the skilled work that you're capable of, then apply today at valleygroveconstruction.com. That's valleygroveconstruction.com and click the Join Our Team link.
Hi, I'm Adam Flager. At Flager & Associates, we've specialized in personal injury cases for more than 30 years. When you're injured, you don't need just any attorney. You need a dedicated personal injury firm. You need to concentrate on getting well again. We handle everything else. We won't rest until we get top dollar for your case, and we treat you like part of our family. Not sure if you have a case? Call for a free case evaluation. 215-953-5200 or visit flagerlaw.com. That's FLAGERLAW.com.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5, The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Tom Alvord. That's Ray Dunn. Mike Vito producing today's show. Haley Taylor on the YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Once again, discussing the Philadelphia Phillies' magical run, magical season, coming to an end after a 4-1 loss to the Houston Astros last night, where the offense just racks up 3 hits, has just 1 runner in scoring position the entire night, leaves 4 men on base, and other than a Kyle Schwarber home run, could get absolutely nothing going offensively. Nothing going offensively, and and I know we're going to talk about the Rob Thompson decision and taking Zach Wheeler out a ton, but to me, that frustrates me just as much as the decision to take him out, and more so just what happened when they took him out, because I understand why he made the decision that he made. But the offense coming up small and going cold at the worst possible time, that's what's going to carry with me the most. Your 2 through 5 hitters?
2 through 5, 2 for 47 in the last 3 games.
Your 2 through 5 hitters, that's Rhys Hoskins, JT Realmuto, Bryce Harper, Nick Castellanos. 2 for 47?
21 strikeouts.
With 21 strikeouts. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it in the biggest moment of the season, biggest moment of these guys' careers, probably. On the biggest stage against a team like the Houston Astros, who are just they're cheaters. That's absolutely true. And even Fox and ESPN just shoving down our throats how great of a redemption story it is for them after they, cheated and got caught cheating. It's ridiculous. But despite them cheating, they are a very, very good baseball team, a very well-run organization where you can have a guy like Carlos Correa leave and a guy like Jeremy Pena is just ready and waiting and wins ALCS MVP, World Series MVP, and a Gold Glove in his rookie year. Yeah, that's kind of nice, where they have Christian Javier pitching Game 4 when the Phillies don't have a 4th starter in the playoffs. You ran into a better team, and the offense needed to step up, and it didn't. So, very frustrating. I'm going to look back on this run, and it's going to be mostly positive thoughts. It's going to feel like 1993 to a lot of people looking back on this run. And something we're going to discuss a little bit later, probably a little bit later in the segment, we'll do it. Is this team more of a 2008 team where it's the start of a magical run? Or is this team more 1993 where this is the magical run and that's it? We peaked out. So I want to discuss on that. I think it's an interesting conversation. But we go back to the Zach Wheeler decision. Rob Thompson's decision to pull Zach Wheeler in the 6th inning with a man on 1st and 3rd. 1 out. Takes him out for Jose Alvarado, who then gives up a 3-run homer to Yordan Alvarez, which he did not miss. Yordan Alvarez, despite not being very good statistically this postseason, he's had some huge moments. And when you miss as bad as Alvarado did and you give him a fastball right down the middle, he's going to hit it 450 feet dead center, and he did it. Momentum gone, and the game was basically over at that point, especially with the way the offense was rolling and how good the Houston Astros bullpen is. So, everyone pointing at Rob Thompson today. Why did he make that decision? How could you do that in that situation? Again, as I mentioned earlier, I would have kept Zach Wheeler in. I always ride with my ace. I would have given him at least one more batter, especially with how good his stuff is. But I understand why it was done, because Rob Thompson has been doing it all postseason long. He trusts his high-leverage bullpen guys. He did it again. It didn't work out in that situation. Ray, you feel relatively similar?
Well, I'm happy with the decision.
Yeah,
I
feel
fine
like
with it. It was the right decision. Yeah, I think it was I'm not happy with the result.
Sure.
Clearly, but I thought the decision, you can live with it because, like you said, like you laid out, that's what he's done. That's what he's been looking for. 3rd time through the order for Wheeler against the best hitter on that team. That's where they've been going. And Alvarado gave you a matchup where you thought you get the swing and miss. You wouldn't induce any contact, and that's what you were playing for. Alvarez had hit Wheeler, had made contact off of Wheeler both times in the at-bat. He was seeing him. He was able to get there. 3rd time, you're concerned about what might happen. I understand he was dealing. I understand he still looked good mileage-wise. But, again, I live with the decision because I think at the end of the day, it was the right decision. It's the decision that's gotten him here, and that has propelled this team throughout the entire postseason.
Yeah, I have no issues with that because you're right. He's made that exact same decision in different ways this entire postseason, taking out guys early. Ranger Suarez, Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, not letting him get through to the third time through the order. He's been doing it all postseason long. It just didn't work out this time. For those that didn't hear, I want to play the audio again of Rob Thompson and Zach Wheeler. We're going to start with Zach Wheeler. This is them post-game. Thank you to NBC Sports Philadelphia. Post-game on Rob Thompson's decision to take out Zach Wheeler. Here's Zach Wheeler first.
Win or go home right there, and that's a tough pill to swallow, but it's ultimately, Tom's call, and that's the call he made.
Did you think he was going to come out there?
No, honestly, it caught me off guard a little bit.
Caught him off guard a little bit. Zach Wheeler, your ace. One of the best free agent acquisitions this city has ever seen, the way he's pitching and has pitched his entire tenure here. Then we go to Rob Thompson, who had this to say post-game.
Rob, could you take us through the thought process and the decision to go take Wheeler out and go with Alvarado in that situation?
Yeah, I thought Wheels still had really good stuff. It wasn't about that. It was just I thought the matchup was better with Alvarado on Alvarez at that time.
Zach just said in the clubhouse that he was surprised that you decided to do that. Any reaction?
He was. Yeah, I'm sure he was. I mean, he still had his good stuff. I just thought that was a key moment in the game, and that was a momentum swing that I thought Alvarado had a chance to strike him out.
So there you go. Zach Wheeler, your ace. Rob Thompson, your manager for not only this season, but new manager for the next 2 years, a nice 2-year contract extension. Well-deserved, despite what happened last night. I want to hear from you guys. I've said it 1,000 times. This is a venting session. What's on your mind after this magical postseason run? We're going to head over to South Jersey and talk to Gary. Gary, how we feeling, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning. The weather kind of feels it's kind of indicative of how I think we're all feeling, just gray and gloomy. I want to start off, obviously, I don't believe he needs to be fired. I think we don't need to have anybody go to extremes. But there are a couple things that I think need to be at least pointed out and owned. The main reason they lost the series was the hitting. I mean, like you said, 2 through 5 just didn't get the job done when it counted. The 2 for 47, I'll take Bryce out of it. 2, 3, and 5 went 1 for 36 in the last 2 games. So that's just not going to get it done.
No, it's not going to cut it. Nope.
That's really the issue. But there were a couple things that I think if we're going to praise Rob and say, he's the guy going forward and change it all around, which is all true, you have to own the other side of it too. He never changed this lineup. The whole this is the lineup that got me here. This is what I'm going to do. That only works so far. When you see how they're pitching Bryce game after game, because you have a manager in Houston who actually knows what he's doing as opposed to what Bob Melvin did. You have to change it around. You can't
Gary,
have Bryce in front of Castellanos and not expect anything to be different.
Where are you going lineup-wise? Obviously, we can all agree the hitting wasn't there. In terms of the lineup, what are you switching around to make things work?
I think the only thing I really would have done would have been, and is what everybody around here was saying all week, you just got to swap Bryce and JT. They didn't have the lefties in the pen. There wasn't really the overall, we got to space these guys out. You had to give at least somewhat of a different look to give Bryce a little bit more to hit and to maybe change it around just a bit. Nothing too extreme, I understand, but you did nothing. He stuck with that. So that's A. And then it comes to obviously the pitching change, and that's what he did all the time, and that's what got him there. I get it. But you have to look at the whole thing as a whole. You can't just go, again, I go back to Bob Melvin. We crucified him here to our benefit that he left Robert Suarez in to face Bryce and didn't go, well, that's what he's done all year.
Sure.
Well, it's the elimination game. You got to bring Hader in. Well, okay, then it works this way. Alvarado was getting hit. In the last couple games, he had been getting hit. He hadn't been getting the job done, particularly when he came in with guys on base. The other night, bases loaded, tough situation, I understand. He didn't get the job done. He got hit. He hit Alvarez to begin with. So he wasn't getting the job done. He wasn't Brian Abreu. He wasn't Rafael Montero. He wasn't, Ryan Presley. He wasn't come in, shut the door, that's all there is to it, he's automatic. There were issues. And you also saw Wheeler was not getting hit. I understand, Alvarez had put the bat on the ball, but he had basically a hit batter to a guy who decided to move 3 inches closer to the plate and hang over the plate to get on base. And then what? He had one single up the middle to Pena, who was the only guy in that lineup who was actually hitting.
Yep.
So the velocity didn't drop. It was the wrong move. I understand why he made it. I get it. But I think it's fair to criticize and say, that you can't just hide behind, this is what I've done to get us here. Because when you are here, you have to see the whole situation. And I thought that was done for.
Yeah. Gary, great call, man. Really appreciate it. I agree with a lot of what Gary said, honestly. It did seem, is it fair to say Rob was maybe just going through the motions? Now, it's tough to say because you could say he's sticking with his guns. He's sticking with what got him here. But at the same time, it's if there was ever a time to change something, it would have been Game 6. Now, Game 6 of the World Series when you're do or die backs against the wall. The entire postseason run, I didn't agree with everything he did, but it worked the entire time. And that's why after a while, after the NLDS, I was just like, man, whatever this guy wants to do, let it happen. Let him do it. Rob Thompson, that is, because it's been working every single time. So, yeah, some people you might say it's going through the motions. It's not changing what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't think it's going through the motions, though. I think it's really just, hey, we have this left-handed reliever we really trust, and I get that it didn't go the way
more so
the
lineup I'm talking about, like how
the lineup. The lineup. I think the lineup was the product of a locker room that had been kind of policed by the players for a while, where Rob's got their respect, but you could definitely tell that Schwarber's comfortable in the Leo spot. I'm gonna give it to him there.
Just leave him there.
You know,
he wants to hit there.
Bryce likes where he's hitting. I'm gonna leave him there, and I think that's more the product of, hey, we got the mutual respect of you like hitting here. I'm not going to mess with that. You like me managing. And that's probably something that will grow as he grows as a manager, and maybe that he does make those changes. But I'm thinking along the pitching lines, again, back with what he was saying, the bigger picture is that Alvarado was one of the best relievers in all of baseball for months at a time. And I don't think one bad outing would change the way he felt about Alvarado in that situation.
And he was really good, Alvarado was. After that 2-run homer in the Cardinals series, I believe it was Diaz, right? Hit that 2-run homer off him in the Cardinals series. Yepes. Yeah. Thank you. After that, up until the World Series, he was incredible, Jose Alvarado. I have some stats. I'll get to that a little bit later, but he was really good. World Series, he struggled a little bit. I don't know if it's just running out of gas, just a ton of innings on him, multiple innings, high leverage innings. Being put in that bases loaded, no out situation, that is an absolute lose there. There's nothing you can do to get out of there, especially with a guy who's as wild as Alvarado can be. Listen, it's not an excuse. You hit a guy and then it unraveled, and he did not get the job done. But he had been your best, if not second best reliever the entire tenure Rob Thompson pretty much has been here. Since he came up from AAA again, Jose Alvarado, he's been your best, if not second best reliever this entire time. So I understand why he did it. You said, you mentioned, like, hopefully this is something he can learn from. And I had that thought as well. I'm like, all right, he made a mistake, potentially made a mistake, however you look at it. Hopefully he can learn from this, maybe trust his guys a little bit longer, maybe shuffle around the lineup a little bit. And then my second thought goes to, yeah, that's all well and good, but this was the worst possible opportunity.
Oh, 100%.
Like who knows if we're getting back? Who knows if you're ever in the situation again? So it's all well and good to learn from it, and it works in regular season games or even early postseason games, but this is the World Series. I don't know if we will ever not ever. Well, maybe ever. I don't know if
don't do that.
I don't know the next time I'm getting a Game 6 of the World Series with the Philadelphia Phillies. So that was like, yeah, you hope he learns from it, but it has a pretty
bad place to learn.
Yeah.
You want to learn that one in spring training. Hey, he likes it here. You want to learn that one in June.
It is what it is.
And that's the tough part of, if he figures out how to properly adjust his lineup in July next year, and they end up going out in October in the first round, like, woohoo.
Yeah.
That is the unfortunate part of all of it.
And that's just where my head is right now.
Yeah.
Just negative. And I don't mean to be.
But we're real. We're real.
I'm just trying. The wound's still fresh, as I've mentioned multiple times throughout this program. The wound is still fresh. I'm going to look back on this and I'm going to celebrate it. I am. I'm not ready to do it yet because you had a golden opportunity up 2-1 at home with 2 home games remaining, and your offense just went ice cold. Ice cold. You put up you get shut out, no hit, 5-0 in Game 4. Game 5, you put up 2 runs, lose 3-2, and then lose 4-1 yesterday. That is 3 runs in the 3 biggest games of these guys' lives, and they didn't step up the offense. And Rob Thompson, he lost the Midas touch at the very worst time. We're going to go to Staten Island and talk to Eric. Eric, how we feeling today, man?
I'm feeling all right. I went to bed kind of miserable, but I woke up feeling kind of optimistic, actually.
That extra hour of sleep helped you out a little bit?
I suppose so. My job is seasonal, so I just actually got a little bit of time off until right before Christmas or right after Thanksgiving. But anyway, just kind of piggybacking on what you guys said, some of your callers and guests kind of comment on what I wanted to call on. But one of the reasons to feel optimistic is look at the bullpen, just like you're talking about. The bullpen was historically bad for the last year and a half, and it actually by the end of the year wound up being a strength. So I think that's one thing, optimistic to look towards. I was telling you, I live in Staten Island, but I've actually grew up outside of like the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton area. So I've been. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. No, you're good. Keep going. Yep.
So I actually.
I'm just letting you vent. The floor is yours. That's why.
Yeah. No, he became a Phillies fan when my dad and some of the other dads of our Little League team took us to a bar of all places to watch Game 6 of the 1980 World Series. So
that's awesome. That is.
Yeah, my mom didn't think it was awesome, but it's a lifelong memory.
Yeah, it's going to stick with you forever.
Yeah,
sure.
So it was pretty awesome. So, as far as this year, it does remind me of the 1993 series in a lot of ways because I didn't have the expectations. Memorial Day, I live in New York, so, obviously I'm around a lot of Mets and Yankee fans. I remember Memorial Day weekend, a lot of them saying, it must suck the Memorial Day weekend, your team's already gone. Okay, well, you know what? November 5th, there are two teams left with an opportunity to win the World Series.
Sure.
Either one of them were the Mets or the Yankees.
Yep, correct.
And as far as that goes, free agency's coming up, and the Phillies, they have some money. Trey Turner supposedly is what I saw. The Phillies are actually like the favorites to actually land him. They could put him at short, put Stott at second. If Bryce, his arm is better, you put him back in right field, which would be huge because you can balance left field and then the DH with Castellanos and Schwarber.
Yeah, both of those guys don't need to be in the outfield for 160 games or whatever it was like they were this year. You can interchange DH and have one of them in left field. Helps you immensely.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Then you got, an elite 5-tool shortstop, an elite 5-tool right fielder. I like Marsh in center field. I think he's eventually going to start to hit. I think Stott will also. And they just got to go get, a solid number 3 pitcher. So this way, I like Suarez as a number 4. So this way we get to the playoffs next year, which I think we will. We don't have to worry about all these bullpen games because that wears them out also.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the reason why by the end of the year, you know what I mean? I think a lot of them are just gassed.
Sure.
And like somebody just brought up, I think it was on your show, that Phillies played 11 games before the World Series started. Houston played 7.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Yeah. No, Eric, I completely agree, man. Thank you very much for your call. Appreciate that. Yeah, Dave Dombrowski has a huge offseason ahead of him. I like the core here. I like the mix of young guys in Brandon Marsh. I think, he struggled a little bit, and we're always going to remember that Game 5 at bat where he just looked completely overmatched and with a 1 out and it was runner on third, I believe, situation. You can't get the ball to the outfield and you strike out, the worst possible thing you can do there. I still think the kid has a lot of potential. I think I liked what I saw from him for the most part here, and the Phillies obviously did. That's why they went and made that trade. You might have your center fielder for the next 5 years who can bat you 260, give you 10 homers, 10 steals, and play Gold Glove defense. I'm content with that because it's not Odubel Herrera, it's not Mickey Moniak, it's not Adam Hazley, so I'm fine with that. I like the mix of this young core and the win-now-ready core, the guys in their primes kind of core, where it's JT, where it's Bryce, where it's Castellanos. I did it because he did it. Castellanos, Kyle Schwarber. It's a big offseason ahead of us.
And Trey Turner.
Potentially. I hope
Trey Turner, you are a Philadelphia Philly.
I hope they have a backup plan. I will say that. Not that I don't think he's not going to come here, because I think if they want him as much as he wants to come here, he's going to be a Philadelphia Philly. But there's a lot of good shortstops on the market, so just have a backup plan ready.
They'll be ready.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Time to trust in Dave. We trusted in Rob for so long.
Yeah, no, I trust in Dave. I absolutely trust Dave Dombrowski. And Bryce Harper does too, and that's the biggest thing. So got one more segment coming up next. I want to get into this 2008-1993 comparison with this 2022 Phillies team. We're going to do that right after the break. We're going to get to Ari from Warminster. You are going to be first up for us, and then it can be you. Got a couple open lines for pretty much the first time all day for this venting session here on 97.5 The Fanatic after the Phillies' 4-1 loss to the Houston Astros in Game 6 of the World Series. I also have a couple tweets that I would like to read as well. I'm Tom Alvord. He's Ray Dunn, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
97.5 The Fanatic.
We've been together for 30 years.
35.
35 years together, and never an argument.
Oh, we fight a lot.
That we couldn't settle. But we finally agreed on cannabis, of all things.
Our friends had a good experience with it, so we decided to give it a shot.
And we both agreed we didn't want to go sit in some doctor's office with a bunch of masked strangers waiting for a medical cannabis card.
We did.
Oh, thank God.
So we went to veryhill.com and qualified online for our medical cannabis cards in just a few minutes. The simple payment plan made it very manageable.
Yeah, woman gets what she wants.
I'm a force of nature.
Join the millions of people who've qualified online for a medical cannabis card with VeriHeal. One low fee covers the cost of consultation and the card. And if you don't qualify, your fee is refunded 100%. Get started today with easy financing. Visit VeriHeal now. That's VeriHeal. VeriHeal.com.
Hey, Sixer fans, it's Matt Cord for the BetParx app, the official winning partner of your Philadelphia 76ers. The BetParx app is fun to use. Build around on what you want right from your phone. It's easy to sign up, great customer service, and faster to win than ever before. Download the BetParx app today. The BetParx app, the official winning partner of your Philadelphia 76ers.
See website for terms and conditions. Must be 21 and in Pennsylvania or New Jersey. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
SEPTA and the BetParx Casino and Sportsbook app have something special for fans all season long. Free rides home from every Birds home game. Fans ride home free from every home game on SEPTA's Broad Street line from NRG Station, courtesy of the BetParx Casino and Sportsbook app. Free rides begin at halftime of every home game. Join the fun on the BetParx Casino and Sportsbook app by downloading now at betparx.com. Free rides and all about the fans from SEPTA and BetParx.
Must be 21 and in Pennsylvania or New Jersey. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Cuz. It's a great time to be a sports fan in Philadelphia. Also a great time to get healthy, especially when it only takes 40 days to lose 20 to 40-plus pounds with NJ Diet. NJ Diet's contractually guaranteed money-back program starts with personalized supplements based on your hair, saliva, and blood work. Then NJ Diet uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet plan and workout regimen to help you keep the weight off. And don't worry, NJ Diet's with you every step of the way. You're fully monitored by their certified staff to make sure you're burning fat and not just losing water. You'll have access to the doctor's personal email and phone number. NJ Diet is committed to you keeping the weight off. It's all natural. No shots, no hormones, no prepackaged foods. Ew, and no surgery. Offices close by: King of Prussia, Cherry Hill, Newark, Delaware. Available from home with online video consultations. Visit NJDiet.com or call 855-5NJ-DIET. That's 855-5NJ-DIET. Lose the weight for good.
Hey, to become the next generation of innovators, entrepreneurs, and creators, we're gonna need some things.
Like a high-speed internet connection that can turn my ideas into reality.
Like the skills to become the world's most powerful coder.
Like the tools to start my sustainable shoe business.
You just heard some of the millions of students Comcast is supporting through Project Up, our comprehensive initiative and $1 billion commitment to open doors for the next generation so they can build a future of unlimited possibilities. Learn more at comcast.com/projectup.
If you have an appetite for saving money, then you should get the new Rofo Rewards app from Royal Farms. Use the Rofo Rewards app to place mobile orders for pickup or delivery and earn royalty points to redeem for free stuff. And right now, new Rofo Rewards members will get a free any-size coffee for signing up. You can download the new Rofo Rewards app at the Apple App Store or Google Play today. You'll find it's a very appealing app to have. Real fresh, real fast. Royal Farms.
Hey, this is Brian, and I'm the owner of Valley Grove Construction. We're expanding our team and hiring skilled and creative carpenters. As a company that truly values its talented carpenters, we prove it with top dollar pay starting at $30 an hour, an aggressive 401k plan, a generous vacation package, paid holidays, and even a $100 weekly travel allowance. You heard me right. That's over $5,000 a year to help with gas and vehicle expenses. If you're tired of not working with great people or just not doing the skilled work that you're capable of, then apply today at valleygroveconstruction.com. That's valleygroveconstruction.com. and click the Join Our Team link.
Hi, I'm Adam Flager. At Flager & Associates, we've specialized in personal injury cases for more than 30 years. Experience matters, and we have it. In fact, other lawyers refer their injury cases to us. Insurance companies respect us and know we're committed to getting top dollar for every client, no matter what it takes. Our clients can put their energy into getting well again while we handle the rest. Have you been injured? Call for a free case evaluation. 215-953-5200 or visit flagerlaw.com. That's FLAGERLAW.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. You know, changing your oil with a full synthetic oil like Castrol Edge can help your engine get more miles. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for only $38.99. Get everything you need for better fuel efficiency at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
With Black Friday savings at the Home Depot, you'll find top brand kitchen appliances with innovative features that can do more, so your holidays can be more. Ovens with built-in air fryers for baking the perfect cookies. Dishwashers with smart tech to clean everything from bakeware to festive mugs. And high-capacity refrigerators to keep leftovers fresh. Shop Black Friday savings and get up to 30% off, plus instantly save up to $750 on select GE kitchen packages at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Offer valid November 2nd through November 30th. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
If you're looking to place football bets this weekend, follow the lead from the experts at Free Winners. Tune in to 97.5 The Fanatic every Saturday and Sunday morning at 8 a.m. for a breakdown of each week's games. The team at Free Winners work around the clock to uncover the best on-field matchups. Before you place your bets on this weekend's games, call Free Winners for your free picks. Their number is 888-366-3733. 888-366-3733. That's 888-366-FREE.
Every drive starts somewhere. For First Trust Bank, our drive started in Philadelphia and continues to this day. As Philly's hometown bank for more than 85 years, we know this city's people. We understand their passions, and we work our tails off to help them reach their goals every day. Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank. First Trust Bank, the official bank of the Philadelphia Eagles. Member FDIC.
If you or someone you love has been diagnosed with breast cancer, breastcancer.org is here to help. Find free expert guidance online. Learn about breast cancer risk, diagnosis, treatments, side effects, and managing life during cancer. Join breastcancer.org's online community to connect with others who know just what you're going through. Our mission is to empower you to make the best decisions for your life. No one should face breast cancer alone. Find support at breastcancer.org.
Listen to 97.5 The Fanatic everywhere. On Alexa at 975thefanatic.com, the Fanatic app, and now on Odyssey. Want to outfit yourself in some cool Fanatic and Philly sports swag? The Fanatic Pro Shop is open. Go to 975thefanatic.com and enter the Fanatic Pro Shop. Lots of Fanatic and Philly sports themed merchandise at great prices. The Fanatic Pro Shop has something for everyone. Go to 975thefanatic.com and check out the Fanatic Pro Shop right now.
.97.5 The Fanatic. My name's Tom Alvord. I got Ray Dunn next to me. I got Mike Vito on the board. Haley Taylor running YouTube. Hello, YouTube, once again. Having a pretty gloomy day. Pretty crappy day. I'm not going to lie. Phillies lose 4-1 against the Houston Astros last night. They lose the World Series in 6 games, 4-2, despite being up 2-1 at home. With 2 home games remaining, the offense goes completely cold, putting up just 3 runs in the final 3 games of the series. Rob Thompson makes a questionable decision to some, taking out Zach Wheeler. But my number one question of the day, when is the next time you can listen to Dancing on My Own? Because it's going to be weeks, maybe even months for me, because I love that song after this run. But it just hurts. If I heard it right now, I think I'd start crying.
Yeah, no, I have no interest in hearing it. Ooh. I don't think I want to hear it till the new year. I'll be honest with you. That. I think maybe once 2023 starts, and like maybe if I'm out for New Year's Eve and it comes on after midnight, I might start bumping a little bit,
so
get into it.
New Year's Day, midnight New Year's Day is the next time you're going to listen to it. Maybe.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's the only way. I need the cleanse of everything we've seen, the cleanse from what just happened. And I'll get through the holiday season. There's enough good holiday music to get me through the holiday season.
That's true. It's a good point.
We'll deal with the music when we get to the new year.
Yes. Just a pretty crappy day, but overall, a great run from this Phillies team. An incredible run. A run that no one saw coming. When I look back on this, when all you out there look back on this, it's going to be 99% positive. We're going to look back on this like 1993. But right now, the wound is still very fresh, and I still need to sulk a little bit. I still need to be sad for a little bit longer. But
we're going to be sad for a bit.
Yeah, it's going to be a long time. Yeah. We're having a venting session here on 97.5 The Fanatic. We're going to get to the phones in just a second. I'm going to talk to Ari, T. Love, Gabe, and a couple open lines available if you're interested. But I have a question for you. We compare this team a lot to the 1993 team. I just did it 45 seconds ago. Because of the surprise that season was, the kind of out-of-nowhere type success that team had, feels very similar to this 2022 team. But when we look back on this team, is this 2022 Phillies team, is this the start of a 1993? Is this a 1993 type team where this is the peak and that's it? And you call it lightning in a bottle and then it's just going to be mediocrity or just being average and very few playoff wins after that? Or is this the start of something real? Is this 2008? Now, I know they won in 2008. They didn't get the job done this season, but is this the start of a run? Is this the start of 3-4 years of really good playoff baseball? The ballpark's full more times than it's not, especially big games towards the end of the season. What do you think this team is going to become? Is this 1993 or is this 2008?
So this could be the peak, but I believe this is the beginning of a run. It's very difficult. We've gone over it ad nauseum today of, hey, it's very difficult to get 2 wins away from winning a World Series. That could be the peak of what you get out of this run. I'm not manifesting it. I don't want that to be the case, but it's just the truth. I do think this is the beginning of something special because when you look at that 7-11 run, I think you had the bones of something building for a couple of years, and we saw the bones of something building for a couple of years here where it was like, hey, we keep collapsing in September. That stinks. There's guys here that can do something beyond September, and we just need to build around those players. And I think you saw something similar that early 2000s run where there were players there where you kind of thought, okay, they can be something. They break through, they get in, and then the run begins. And I think getting in this year and having the success they had in October, I think there is something to be built here, and I think there is a run here. So I don't think this is 93. I am concerned, like we keep saying, just how difficult it is to get back. Don't take it as a foregone conclusion. This daycare, very lot of success early on in their career, team-wise. Don't think this is normal. This is not normal. This is not industry standard. You will not have that happen every year.
Yeah. I feel, why can't it be both? This team is the 1993 team because it came out of nowhere. Because none of us saw this coming, including probably some guys in that clubhouse, despite what Rob Thompson and Bryce Harper said. No one saw this coming. So it's very similar to 1993 in that way. I feel the same way. I think this is the start of a run, mainly because I trust the core players here. I love what you had. That you have Bryce Harper, the best player on planet Earth. You have JT Realmuto, who in the second half of the season was really, really good. Pretty much the MVP of the season for this team, you could argue, with how well he played after Bryce Harper went down. Kyle Schwarber, that dude hit over 50 home runs this year, combined playoffs and regular season. I like some of the young guys, as you mentioned, Ranger Suarez, Brandon Marsh, I think is a real player in center field. Bryson Stott, Alec Boehm showed tremendous improvement, not just at the plate, but in the field as well. I still have faith in Castellanos. Rhys Hoskins, that's a conversation we're going to have throughout this offseason. But not only the core and the players on the field, I trust John Middleton that he's going to open his wallet and spend money. I trust Dave Dombrowski to make the right decisions. I trust the scouting department that has been reshuffled the past couple years. I think they're doing a good job. Listen, you drafted Mick Abel and Andrew Painter. Andrew Painter's might be the best pitching prospect in all of baseball. That's with this new scouting department. So I trust the guys in charge. If we're talking about Gabe Kapler and Matt Klensack, and this just happened with this same exact team, no, I'm not feeling as good because I don't trust those guys. I trust the guys in charge. So I believe we are going to this is the start of a nice run here in Philadelphia the next 3-4 years, Phillies baseball. I don't know if we get a World Series out of it. I don't know if we get as close as we got this season. But I think we're going to have enjoyable baseball for the next 3-4 years here in Philadelphia. And that's just good. Because it was a great stepping stone. It was. It sucks that they lost, but it's coming into this season, it was just make the playoffs. They did that. They backed their way in a little bit. They got some help from the Brewers and from the Marlins. But once they got there, it seemed like all the pressure was off. An exhale. All right, we finally got that monkey off our back that we can't get to the playoffs, Philadelphia Phillies. Bryce Harper, even as a Philadelphia Philly, that is, the entire organization, they got to the stepping stone, and they took full advantage of it and almost won the whole damn thing. So this is a great stepping stone, despite how crappy I'm feeling today, despite how crappy all you are feeling out there today. But I think this is the start of a nice run here of Phillies baseball here in Philadelphia. We're going to go back to the phones. I'm going to talk to Ari in Warminster. Ari, how we feeling, man?
I'm feeling all right. I'll get to my 08-93 comparison in a minute, but I know I heard some people talking about changing the lineup and, moving Bryce up, and I feel like that would be more of a panic move. I think, Philly Rob did a good job of sticking to his guns. I think the one change that I would have made for the lineup, and I said this right after Game 5, I would have played Stott over Sosa last night. I get the lefty-lefty matchup, but Stott had some good at-bats against lefties. I feel like he's played consistent. Sosa, after maybe the first couple games of the playoffs, really hasn't looked great in the field or at the plate. That's the one change I would have made. I would have had Stott 7, Segura 8, and then Vierling 9. I was okay with that because Marsh did not hit lefties now.
Nah, not at
but
all.
That's the one change I would have made. And I don't know if it would have made a difference, but I know Stott would have given you good at-bats, whereas Sosa just did not give you anything last night.
Yeah, so I obviously had to fly out to left field, which if that's, another foot higher, that's probably a double that scores 2 runs. If it's 15 feet to the left, that's a home run. So just an unfortunate spot. He hit it in the ballpark. But then you see Stott come up, and later in that game, I think it was the 8th inning, he hits a shot to the opposite field, but Bregman's right there in the perfect position, and it's too bad. No luck there. I agree. I think it would have been a panic move from Rob Thompson to change the lineup too much. It's what got him there. He trusts it. I had no issue with it. So I kind of feel the same way as you. When it comes to the 93-08 comparison, thoughts on that, Ari?
Yeah, look, I think this team is not 93 and it's not 08. So my reason is you look at 93, you did not expect anything from that team, like nothing. I was young at the time, but they were terrible. I mean, you had Dalton, obviously, was your mainstay. But, I mean, Hollins and Kruk was not great at the time. He had the one good year. Dykstra was near the end of his career. And then pitching-wise, it was Schilling and, a bunch of guys who had the best year of their career. So you really had nothing. And then in 94, they pretty much tried to run it back, and they went back to what they should have been. 08, those guys, Rollins, Hamels, Utley, Howard, Victorino, they were in the younger part of their career. So after they won that World Series, you're thinking, okay, yeah, 5 divisions in a row. Sure. Maybe we can win 1 or 2 more World Series. I think with this year, the difference is you have some veterans that are coming near the end of their career and some younger players that aren't quite the same as what you had with Utley, Rollins, and Howard. So I would say we're looking at, like 2 or 3 years in terms of the window.
So you still think we have a nice 2-3 run here of good playoff baseball, hopefully. You still feel that way, though?
I think 2 or 3 years of playoff baseball. I don't know about winning the division.
Yeah, it's a tough division. It is.
Yeah, it's a tough division. It's not going to be 5 divisions in a row like, 07 to 11.
Sure.
But I think that they'll get in the playoffs. I think that they'll have a chance. But I think also the key is you have to add onto this. Turner, sure. I mean, Correa, great. I mean, I think you have to add a starter and you have to add in the bullpen because you can't just live off of Alvarado and Seranthony for the entire season. You have to add to the starting rotation and to the bullpen and then maybe one more bat.
Ari, appreciate the call, man. Thank you very much. I agree on a lot of what he was saying. A starting pitcher might be your biggest need this offseason. Like, we talk about Trey Turner and figuring out what's going on with Segura and Hoskins and getting a legit leadoff guy and a superstar-type player in Trey Turner. I like Aaron Nola, and I was praising him before the Padres series, saying how the 3 biggest games of his career, he went out there and performed tremendously against it was the Astros in the regular season, then the Cardinals and the Braves. And after that, he wasn't very good. And he wasn't very good in the biggest moment on the biggest stage. I think a lot of that has to do with the innings that were on his arm. But listen, a lot of guys have a lot of innings on their arm right now. I don't know if I can trust Aaron Nola to be my number 2 starter. And I think he is a number 2. I do. I think in baseball he is a number 2. He's not an ace. He's not. It's just too much inconsistencies, especially in that 5th inning. I need a starter that's not Kyle Gibson or Noah Syndergaard. I need something bigger than that. If you have Ranger Suarez as your 4 and you can get a legit guy, whether it's, Carlos Rodon, he's probably going to be available. I would give Justin Verlander 1 year, $50 million, whatever you want, because there's no salary cap. I don't care. I'm going for it. Give him 1 year. Yeah, it's not my money. John Middleton's got enough money from that cigar company, his daddy's cigar company. You have to get another starter in here, and then I think they do get one of the shortstops. I think it's Turner probably, but you have Swanson, Correa, and there's one more. I can't remember off the top of my head, but Bogarts. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. But yeah, that's how I feel about that. Feel similar?
I feel similar. I think you're going to really see what this organization thinks of Abel and Painter by what they do in starting pitcher. I don't think it's justified to put that weight on their shoulders to be that starter so young in their career. And I don't think you see them until May, at least. But I think you're going to see, if they truly believe that these two young arms can handle a major league season, they might back off. And I don't want them to. I don't want them to back off of what they could potentially get in a starting pitcher because they think they have something. I would rather, prospects, especially pitching prospects, high school pitching prospects, dime a dozen.
Yep.
Like, they are two incredible prospects. But that is what they are right now. They are prospects. You can get someone on the market who will be able to give you and has proven they can give you more right away. And I would like what you're saying to go out and get a starting pitcher. I'm concerned that they might value the thought of what they might have instead of going out and getting something and paying a premium for it and think to try and invest that elsewhere.
That concerns me a ton. I'm not going to lie. I'm extremely excited about Andrew Painter and Mick Gable. But if you're counting on these guys to give you huge, long innings next season, and you're right, they probably don't come up till maybe June or something like that, but high leverage innings from kids that are 20 years old, you have to have a backup plan. If it happens, great. But you can't go into the season with Nola, Wheeler, and Suarez, and then like Kyle Gibson and Noah Syndergaard.
That backup plan can't be Kyle Gibson and Noah Syndergaard.
No, it can't, man. Like, I'm excited. These are young arms. I'm excited for them too. But we saw with Steven Strasburg a decade ago at this point with the Washington Nationals. He was this kind of pitcher. He was the number one pick, obviously, so a little bit more well known. They put an innings limit on him, and he didn't pitch. I believe it was in the World Series that year, right? And it's like, oh, it's all right. We'll get back there. And they did eventually, but it was years after that. These guys are going to have innings limits. These guys are going to need extra days of rest. These guys aren't going to be pitching every 4 days come playoff time next year. You have to have a better plan than just, we got Painter and Abel that are coming up in June. We're good. Gibson and Syndergaard, get us there till then. No, man. You have to have a better plan than that. You have to have a larger outlook on that. I think Dave Dombrowski will, but like I said, I'm very excited about these two arms. You have to have another plan, a backup plan when it comes to the starting pitching. We're going to go over to, there's nowhere. I'm just going to say sell because there's no location. T-Love, how we feeling, man, on this gloomy Sunday?
Well, good morning, fellas, first of all. The gloom and doom I felt last night, sure enough. Woke up this morning, didn't feel that great. I felt great about I still got another chance to become a billionaire, but, that being said, I would like to thank the Phillies, you know what I mean, because they gave me a lot this year. I mean, this team showed a lot of grit. It showed a lot of determination. I mean, nobody likes to lose. I mean, I hate the fact that we lost, but I can't overlook the fact that I got to thank this team. I lost my father during the pandemic, and my father introduced me
to hear that, man.
To baseball. You know what I mean? Back Connie Mack Stadium days. And, I thought about my dad so much during this run. And to the point, my dad's number is still on my phone. I almost picked it up one day to call. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of feeling I got from this run, man. It was magical. Everything he did was magical. It didn't turn out the way we wanted it to. And I'm thankful that they have the right management in place because you have a guy that knows how to win, a guy that wants to win. And I think with some tweaks, he will work to make this team better. As far as the comparisons go, this is a much better team than 93. There's not even a comparison. You can't even compare this team to 93. The run is the only thing that you can compare to the 93 team. Now, as far as the 2008 team, that team was just dominant. They were, yeah. I mean, you had the pitching dominant, the hitting dominant, defense dominant. I mean, attitude dominant. This team It's not there yet. It's not there yet. The pieces are not in place. The pieces are not in place yet. But with this management, you know that this guy is going to work hard to make it happen. Now, as far as let's talk about the starting pitching. You have what looks to be two good starters. I think Suarez is a guy you can elevate to number 2, and as long as Wheeler is healthy, you can play this guy as your ace. Sure. Nola, I think Nola is what we thought he would be, as the saying goes, and unfortunately, he did what we know he does. You know, I mean, he's a guy you can't trust, and he's a guy I can't make him my number 1. I can't make him my number 2. I can play him at 3, but I would rather him earn that position. You know, and we definitely need another star. You need a dominant 1-2. You need a dominant. If we're going to be 2008, you got to have lights out as your 1 and 2.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I can't trust Nola as the number 2 anymore. I can't. I still think he deserves to be on this baseball team, and I think he's going to give you really good innings. But you need an improvement in the starting rotation. Look at the Astros, man. They're throwing out Christian Javier in the 4th game. Framber Valdez, Justin Verlander. Like, that's what you need. You need multiple guys that can give you high leverage innings and high leverage games. That's what you need.
Exactly. And you got to go out and find yourself a Brad Lidge. I mean, you got to do that, and you cannot piece together the back end. Yeah, I mean, you can't keep piecing that together. You can't do that. You can't come with a different back end every game.
Now, are you confident in Alvarado and Dominguez going forward, though? Like, maybe they're not your closer, or maybe they're their 7th and 8th inning guy, because I am after what I saw this season.
Well, yeah, and somebody said it earlier. Here's the problem with the 2 of those guys. You overused them. And they listen, Alvarado, man, was a guy, man, I hated to see come in the game, man. And then he left and he came back and he was dominant. He was dominant, but he got wore out. And you got to have these guys. You can't rotate these guys. Okay, now I'm gonna bring you in the 5th instead of the 6th or the 7th or these guys. They're not like old school pitchers, man, where they can come in and give you whatever, whenever.
Sure.
You know what I mean? These guys, if you don't play them where they're supposed to play, I mean, their minds, if you ask me, man, are such that. You confuse them if you play a guy that's going to be your 7th inning guy or your 8th inning guy these guys don't handle that.
Yeah, it's obvious, and thank you, man. Thank you, T-Love. Appreciate the call. It's obvious you need more bullpen depth as well.
Yeah, you spent $22 million on Familia, Hand, and Knebel, and listen,
none of them gave you anything.
Yeah, you don't want to hold injuries against you. You don't want to hold it against Hand. But really, when it comes down to it, you have to better allocate your resources. You got to find guys who are on the upswing. The Alvarados of the world. You found something in Pilati. Granted, he wasn't a high leverage guy.
I think Brogdon can give you more than what he gave you in the second half of the season. I think he can be a nice guy you can count on. Not in the 9th inning, maybe necessarily,
right.
but
like Pilati, not a 9th inning guy. But you find someone
guys
that can eat innings for you.
Yeah.
For lack of a better phrase.
You need bullpen depth. You need starting pitching depth. The roster, the lineup needs a little bit of changing too. Way too much swing and miss stuff. So
here we go, off-season talk.
Yeah, man. And honestly, I'm excited. I love baseball off-season talk. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. Yeah, because I'm just the biggest nerd, and
we're gonna have fun.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Today wasn't fun. I tried to have as much fun as possible.
At least we're not the Mets. At least
very true.
The Phillies are not the Mets.
Very, very true. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys venting to me. Gabe, if you don't mind hanging on, we got the great Tyler Zulli up next. I'm sure, Tyler, that show is going to be as fun as it can be, as good as it can be, despite the circumstances. I want to thank Mike Vito for producing today's show. I want to thank Haley Taylor for running the YouTube. I want to thank YouTube for watching. Thank you, YouTube. As Tyler shakes his head, he looks like he's going to cry. I want to thank Ray Dunn. Ray, tremendous job today. Thank you for all your help. Thank you, guys, everyone that called in, tweeted in. I appreciate it very much. It's going to get better. I promise. I think. Well, that'll do it for us today. Again, my name's Tom Alvord. That's Ray Dunn, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
97.5 The Fanatic.
We've been together for 30 years.